You can support this show at patreon.com/ASA podcasting.
The wasteland is a post-apocalyptic mess as the sole survivor wanders out about to see the rest. Nuclear explosions sending out the gamma rays from deep within the core, frozen atomic waves. From deep within the core, frozen atomic waves.
Hello and welcome to the 134th edition of the Fallout Feed. I am Andrew, joined this evening by a few of my favorite Fallout faces. Hello, Freighter.
Hello, everybody.
Thanks for hopping on, sir. And Ray. Hi, Ray.
Evening, Andrew.
And Jess. Hi, Jess. What's going on?
Good evening, Andrew. Not much, just getting ready to talk about my favorite subject.
Yes. Is it really on Earth, you think?
Well, no, but it's close.
For the purposes of the show, yes.
Absolutely, for the next 2 to 4 hours.
Next 2 to 16 hours will be... No, sorry. Yeah, so tonight, guys, we got some feedback we're getting into. We discussed some quests and a few events. Last time, Wasted on Nukashine, Personal Matters 1 and 2. Leader of the Pack is an event. Also the event Path to Enlightenment, and that one where you have to go up and find Jangles. I think it's fine. It's not called Find Jangles, but something like that. These are all for Fallout 76, and you are listening to the Fallout Feed. And for any new listeners, this is a roundtable project where we gather together and have people compare and contrast experiences in the Fallout universe by playing characters who we've produced with a random character generator. So that's how we really wrap our minds around basically all the different angles that the game can have. We have these characters that are all really different from each other, but we all play the same quest, and we gather here. And the show hosts, we all talk about the quest and what we do, and then we have a feedback episode immediately after, and that's what we're about to hear. And you will hear feedback tonight from Eric, who sent in his feedback like 3 weeks ago. But he just wanted to be on it early. We also have Leon and Dwight. We have Sherry T, Josh, Will, Josh K, Jerry, and Freighter. You sent something in too. Jeez. And Freighter, you could also possibly, if we get to it, Fallout Terminal Velocity with Freighter again.
Hopefully it's better than the last one.
Oh, what do you mean? They're all great. They're all classic. Ray, we might talk about your legendary drop theory some more.
Look it up.
I think Jess and Freighter both have a vote in the server column versus inventory.
It's
So we'll
been
talk
hard to
about
tell the last couple of days.
God, what is up, man? Like, we all hate the detractors because the detractors generally don't really play the game, and they just read the reviews and then shit all over the game without really, giving it a good chance. We've given it a good chance, so we can shit on the game, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, my stability has just been fucking garbage the last 2 weeks. It has been amazingly bad. And then when it did come back a little bit,
Yep.
I have no idea what I'm doing or where I'm going or what rewards I'm receiving unless I go into my inventory and see the stuff. Like there's no quest markers. Nothing is. I went. Guys, this is the most idiotic thing. I don't know what I was doing. I have no quest markers. I have nothing to tell me where I'm going or what I'm finding. I decided, I'll just go ahead. I'll run through that DMV quest real quick. Forgetting, you have to go here and then go there and then get this note and then take it back and then go over here and get that note and take it back over here. Then log into this terminal, then go over here and then take it over here and then go back over there and then get the stamp and then go to the governor's office and then get this and that and the other. Holy fuck. Without quest markers, that was a whole ordeal. If I hadn't done that quest before fairly recently, there's no way in hell I would have been able to navigate that building. That building is now my nemesis.
Yeah.
Like it's worse than Corvega. Oh my god, that building is a fucking pain.
Well, and it's
What's
funny
Fallout 3 equivalent?
because you can exit and you can leave. You can leave and get back in on the different doors, or you can make your way through the entire building to get to the different locations. But without quest markers, I didn't realize you lost your quest markers too. That's awful.
It's like playing Morrowind.
You guys have had your quest markers the last couple days? Because I have not. I've not had any quest markers.
Mine are working, but I was playing with a few people today that were having issues.
Yep, and I mean, after I played it every day since the last show, and man, that first night, yeah, I thought everything was failing on me. Every event, every defense. I turned in technical data, got nothing, and it was about 2 hours in when I realized that I was getting stuff in my inventory, but nothing listed. Oh, I leveled up too. Didn't even know it. Good time.
Wow, you didn't even get the notification for leveling up.
Nope, but I had quest markers, so I guess I went up on you there.
Well, that's just peculiar. I wonder if we played at the same time, if you would have quest markers and I would not. Or goodness,
So
I wonder what it depends upon. That must be a server thing. Can't be on my side.
Has it persisted for you? Like, I mean, because I feel like different logins, different problems right now, right?
It was 2 days in a row on multiple different servers.
Yep. Okay, and I had 2 days in a row not getting my quest rewards, but or at least not getting notified about them. But last night I played Nuclear Winter for like 3 hours.
Oh, nice. How's that going?
People are still, out to get each other, out for blood. It was good times. I had a few good runs. I still haven't won a match. I was talking about that in the Xbox group. I've been legit second a bunch of times, but never been overseer. One of these days.
I'm only level like 10 or 11, I think. Maybe not even.
Yeah, I'm
What
12 now. I'm 12 now. I wanted to honestly get that get the copper statue. But last night, best thing was, kids, before you start a Nuclear Winter match, go to the bathroom. Because I logged in, I'm starting to play, and I'm like, oh no. So I jumped, I hid in a corner, I hear the beep beep, fire moving, and luckily I made it back just in time. But yeah, be careful. You could get sniped.
You know she didn't wash her hands there, guys, right?
That would be telling.
It's her controller.
Of course, I washed my damn hands.
Ray, what have you been into?
Well, I started a new character last week, and so I've been grinding on that character. So he is level 26, I think 27. But after the patch on Tuesday, which took 3 hours to get the servers back online, finally jumped in and started running around, and immediately started having problems with legendary drops, and then had a couple of crashes. I took the Charleston landfill, and as soon as I got everything built up and ready to do my first defend, the server crashed, and so the only good thing about that was when I went back into the server, I went back and took it again, and it's a weekly quest to take a workshop while well fed or intoxicated, and so I got two of them out of the way, back to back. So it just happened to be the same place at the same time with the same well fed.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah. So it got pretty clear pretty quick that there was going to be no use in trying to grind White Springs, which is already a big enough pain in the butt at that low a level. But when you're not getting any legendaries out of it, it's completely not worth it.
Yeah.
And so I logged out and then thought, well, maybe it was just, something weird that happened. I popped back in the next morning and same thing was still happening. And then that's where I found on Reddit that was a problem that had come up with the patch. And they were working on the hot fix.
Yeah.
I had also bought the Liberty Prime skin for the power armor, but I was also reading about problems that people were having with power armor, so I was afraid to jump it back over into my character that has power armor, for fear of losing it. So I just waited until they got the hot fix. Well, that ended up happening late enough today that I didn't play at all. So I haven't played much in the last couple of days.
That's probably smart. With the power with the power armor thing, that's one thing I could say that has at least been good for me and most of the people I know, where the changes they made, it's really inconvenient getting warped to a train station and having everything broken apart. But I didn't lose anything. Between what was in my stash and on me, I had everything on all my characters, and I feel like most people have had the same, and some people even had some old pieces they lost come back. So that's exciting. But we
Right. Yep.
Yeah, well,
but we have heard of a couple people who lost too. So it's not all roses even there.
so explain to me what happened here. I'm a techno dunce, as everyone knows. I don't understand these programming, computer, video game stuff. So what is going on in the background that they needed to do this?
That wasn't abundantly clear, but whatever they did, it required that all the pieces of armor were taken off of the frames. And my low level character, when I logged in yesterday, had a power armor frame. I haven't popped it out yet to see if it had. I mean, I'm guessing it's just a frame, but that just kind of showed up, and I read that was one of the things that they had done was it had inadvertently dropped power armor frames into your inventory.
Yeah,
So.
in the patch notes, they didn't get deep into everything. We talked about patch 11 a couple times the last few weeks, but the way they described it, like Ray said, was pretty vague. It says, address a ton of power armor bugs, improve performance, help it function more smoothly overall. These are mostly under-the-hood improvements. We believe these changes will help you have a better experience and encounter fewer issues while wearing your favorite set of power armor. So we don't really know what that was, aside from the bugs people get. Tiny power armor, power helmet at your feet, disassembled, obviously Wendigo legs, all the usual issues.
So that's really what they're trying to correct is the just power armor glitches.
Mhm.
And they
Sounds
needed
like it,
they needed to remove all the pieces off the framework in order to make that correction. And that caused Will to get some power armor back. That's awesome, but it also caused a lot of people to lose a lot of stuff.
Somebody likes Alex that has 13 different power armor sets had to reassemble everything.
Well, if everything's well labeled and organized, it shouldn't have been too bad as long as they didn't take anything or give you extra stuff that you weren't expecting.
He said the worst part about that was the lag. Carrying so much stuff on him and 17 disassembled power armors, even though they were labeled, he was getting 5 or 6 frames a second.
I know
It's a
that
bit complicated too when all your parts have different mods, so alphabetically in your inventory, it's all over the place and mixed together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, good point. So what a pain. But hopefully the improvements end up being worth it.
When did that first start happening? When was that first possible with the power armor stuff? Was that just on Tuesday that started happening?
Yeah, 1 o'clock Tuesday afternoon.
Interesting. All right, because it had to be Alex. I know it had to be him. I don't know. I was running around, and I think Alex and I joined up and were on a team for a little while. And I didn't even realize it while he and I were playing. And then the next day, I think I popped out. I had an extra set of full Raider power armor, and I was like, I don't remember getting this. Is there a way that he could get that into my inventory without me noticing somehow? Did he plop it out and I just inadvertently picked it up or something? How does that happen?
I mean, not unless you're trading. You were wearing a set of Raider power armor for a little bit last weekend, Andrew.
Yeah, that's my power armor I'm using with this character right now. Is that's the full set I have right now is the Raider. Yeah, it's actually kind of fun, but I can't put in any jetpack or anything, so it won't be an end game set for me. I don't even remember what my character was assigned. I need to look and see what. Did we assign? We didn't assign power armor, did we? Did we assign model? I don't remember.
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
Okay. God, where's my character sheet? I haven't even seen that thing in a while. Oh well, we'll look into that. All right, guys. Freighter, what you been getting into?
Just derping about. Honestly, I haven't done much at all. Power leveling a little bit. But yeah, most of the time I'm just hanging out with friends and doing whatever their quests are.
Yeah, you played with us for like 4 hours last weekend.
Yeah, that was good
That's
times.
great. It was like the old days. I'm glad you got your roundtable character on the Xbox. When you what'd you say? Did you say power derping? Jeez, no, power level. Where do you level? Do you just do like a White Spring type run thing, or do you have a special favorite place?
I think my favorite probably is the White Spring, but I mean, up until recently, I was too low level to do that. I guess if you have someone with you, you could go there at any level, but I was mostly by myself. So yeah, I mean, the White Spring's a good one. Or I'll just head north of Morgantown and just see what I find.
I recently took a leaf out of Ray's book and did a couple runs through the asylum over there for the straight jackets. Ray, how many straight jackets do you get in one run max? What's the most you found?
The most I've got is 21.
Holy fuck, that's a lot. I think I found like 14 or something once, and I was like, "Oh, that's a ton." But yeah,
Well, that's not
holy
bad.
yeah, yeah. And I've got a charisma 15, but I don't have the barter card yet. I need to get that. What is that? Better prices card? I don't remember what it's called. I need to grab
bargain.
Hard bargain, yeah. And I haven't really started doing lots of bartering yet. I have been doing lots of Murgle Burgle vending, and we can get into that here in a little bit. I think people may have mentioned stuff, but we should go ahead and roll into some feedback here pretty soon. But the feedback, and we also have a game. If there's time, I've got a batch of Scream at Your Phone that I set up for everybody here. And gosh, a little Fallout 3. Andrew's been playing that. So lots of stuff to get into this week. So let's go ahead and roll into some feedback. And if there's time, we can get into some other stuff after the show here. So let's start off. See, we'll go in order received. So Eric, you sent in something about 20 days ago. So we'll roll with Eric. Hi, Eric.
Here's a recap of who my character is. He has two older brothers. One is an outfit-obsessed nerd named Jeremy. Jeremy is trying to mold his brother to be like him, but my character Richardson is not going to be a nerd like Jeremy. Richardson is currently at level 30. He has had a fairly easy run through the main quest, which he had to play through to unlock the forest under armor at the Enclave. With strength only at 6, carry weight has been annoying. So his brother Jeremy suggested earning excavator armor. Thanks to some help from Pat, Richardson was able to get pretty close to the mining company and start the armor quest. In return, Pat asked for a quick favor. He wanted to revive someone from injury in water. And what? Okay. He reviewed his Pip-Boy, and Richardson realized that he wanted to do the same in order to impress his tadpole scout leader. So after Pat supplied several grenades, we proceeded to kill each other and ourselves so that the other could get it done. It's cool to have friends. Pat and Sergio also helped arrange an item swap with Jeremy so that my character Richardson now has many high-level great weapons to use when he levels up. We used the tent out back of Morgantown Station to drop items in and then switch characters and retrieve the loot on our other character. It's a nerve-wracking process as I'm afraid of crashes. Plus, part of this swap had Sergio's evil old lady holding onto a couple weapons. It was a struggle to pry those items from her evil hands. With this character, I'm currently finding ammo hard to keep in supply. Until recently, when Richardson visited Jerry's castle, and he gave him 1,000 rounds of 10mm and other items. Thanks again, Jerry. He burns through 10mm ammo fast and has been relying on a fire axe to take out his foes. The concentrated fire perk card and tons of AP with the gorilla perk so far have made his automatic 10mm pistol somewhat respectable, but I'm hoping it gets better because I still don't stand a chance against high-level enemies. I'll keep scrapping handmaids to learn mods. I'm always thinking ahead. The quest for this week, Nukashine. Just hearing that name makes him cringe. Richardson, or Chard, as Lee and his friends call him, bought a bottle in a vendor camp. He decided to drink it at the Sutton train station. Immediately he saw blue rage. I don't know, but his vision changed. I guess his unarmed increased by 100%, so he put away his guns and he beat up the scorched in newly discovered Sutton. After a few minutes, he woke up under a structure. The words, "Sickleman was here," were written on the wall. He was right near Vault 76. Not sure how he got there from Sutton, but before he woke up, he saw a photo of some woman wearing a varsity jacket and jeans in a house with someone laying on a keg. Looked like a crazy party. Man, did his head hurt. At the Tyler Fairgrounds, he found a source of basketballs and mason jars for rubber and glass. Perfect materials for making helmet. Wait, never mind. That's stupid Jeremy's thing. Chard doesn't scavenge for materials to make outfits. After way too long searching, Chard found Jangles at the Tyler County Fair. Initially, he did a cool thing and placed a marker on the map to get to the fairgrounds. Upon arriving, he was told to find Jangles, but he spent forever looking where he had placed his marker because there was a little counter that said, that's exactly where the location was, instead of looking at the circle that was on the map that shows about the approximate place where Jangles is. So that was definitely not cool. Path to Enlightenment, he did that quest. It was in progress when Chart arrived. One other player had already found 39 of the biofluids, so he quickly got to the rest, to the 50. With Chard's high AP and VATs, killing the bugs and frogs was super easy. He got a few quick poses with the moth and moved on. Leader of the pack, he got word that some wolves were mad, so he found the third pack of wolves first. There were about 20 of them. Killed them all with his gun until it broke, then used his fire axe. And it was strange because when he started, he is working through becoming general, and he had 6 commendations. And while he was killing this pack of wolves, all 4 of the rest of his commendations were earned, and he became, earned the rank of general, all from killing a few wolves. So I'm not sure if that was some sort of glitch or something. They were dropping a bunch of legendary items, but whatever, he grabbed them and moved on. At the Agricultural Research Center, he was attacked by a farmhand, Mr. Handy, while he was trying to listen to the Overseer's tape, so I have no idea what she was trying to say, because it was just under attack the entire time. During that process, Chard picked up a 3-star level 1 Furious Pitchfork, and he's been using it with VATs ever since. I have a confession. While Chard talks a big game, he couldn't resist making himself a couple Mothman masks to run around in, and a bear mask too. His brother may be wearing off on him a little. Maybe the outfits are kind of cool. That's it for now. Stay cool out there.
Outfits are pretty cool. I want that Mothman. Is the bear one still around? I saw the Mothman one still up in the Atomic Shop. They get rid of that bear one?
I don't know.
Yeah, that was part of that package, right?
I don't know. We need someone out there in the community to send us be the Atomic Shop pro. send us a clothing update every week.
I mean, we check every week, and we've got in the iguana bits section, there's usually something on the new items and the old items. But yeah, sometimes things leave. I didn't think the bear suit did, but now you ask, and I don't remember seeing it in the last week.
Yeah, not that I have enough atoms. We were talking about that too. I find atoms incredibly hard to come by. Frater was like making fun of someone, like, just go do challenges and you can get your atoms. Like, if you've done all the easy ones, then the other ones are like, extremely involved, impossible ones. So it's like, once you hit a wall, it's really hard to come by atoms at some point.
You definitely get less. I mean, new characters get some. As we've noticed, starting our second characters, but I don't pay as much attention as I should on which ones restart and which ones are gone forever. And
I did not
now
check that,
now they've made it maybe a little bit harder, talking about how on some of the early quests they're replacing previous Atom rewards for challenges with survival items and stuff to help you get a move on.
Okay, so what is that? They took away giving extra atoms at lower levels in order to give you what? Just extra drop somewhere? I didn't even notice that.
It's part of the whole patch 11 smoothing, so it only just happened, with Tuesday. But they mentioned to make it easier for lower level characters, how they're making fast travel cheaper, they're slowing down diseases. They also said a lot of early quest rewards and challenges will be giving survival items. So you might be getting more water and more stuff to help you survive, as opposed to atoms in some of these.
All right, they're fucking with the economy. Then they want people to spend real dollars and not atoms in that atom shop. Then, right?
And it's not a trivial amount of caps. I was level 24 at the beginning of the week, and it was this particular trip that I was taking was costing me about 21 caps, and then on Tuesday after the update, I got up over level 25 and it jumped up to 31 caps for the same trip. So it was pretty noticeable.
And a quick update for somebody in the game. Wendy just mentioned that the bear suit is still there. And
yeah, it is 700 atoms.
And also that the cat topiary is the free item, which we knew, but that came out with, it's a lanyap.
Yeah.
In case you want to jump on the other new set with the greenhouse items and the Deathclaw topiary that isn't free.
I noticed earlier today.
I just grabbed
the cat topiary on a chair, and then sit on the chair and pretend to pet your cat.
Nice.
Oh,
isn't that wonderful? I mean, you don't actually get to pet the cat, but it looks like it.
It's like putting the stuffies in bed, like I've been doing. I really like that. I'll have to try that.
That's great. They don't fall off or anything. When you crawl into bed, they all stay put.
No, if they're in the wrong spot, it will just not do the animation. It'll hover for a bit and then you won't be in bed. But if you get them in the right spot, you can totally snuggle in with them.
Oh, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cute. Nice.
And I had just gotten back up to 5,000 atoms, and then the Liberty Prime power armor skin. I saw it come up, and it looks okay. But then I was at a queen fight, and somebody had it on, and it was talking. I'm like, oh, hang on, I got to run to the atom shop real quick. It's pretty sweet.
Nothing will sell you faster than seeing it in action sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, with Liberty Prime lines, you've got to, you got to love it.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get in the power armor, it has a couple of different lines, and then when you enter into battle, it has a couple of different lines too. And it's all in the Liberty Prime voice.
I assume the same lines from Fallout 3 and 4.
No, it's more in line with what you're doing. Like when you get in the power armor, it talks about it being activated, and then when you go into battle, communist target identified,
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I was expecting a lot of like red commies must die, that sort of,
Yeah, very much on that line.
Yeah. Very fun. That's cool.
So slowly but surely, they're finding stuff to tempt my atoms away from me.
So I'm trying to think what would be the ultimate Ray thing. An alt start thing that you purchase with that. A camp that lets you do an alt start from wherever.
I would buy atoms for that.
Nuka Shine character creation. You drink the Nuka Shine when you create your character, and you just end up somewhere on the map to start.
That'd be outstanding.
Hey, that makes sense. You wake up, you have no idea who you are, where you are, reintroduce yourself. That's fun. That's a great idea, Jess. Cool. All right, let's go on and see what Leon has to say.
So maybe I need to start believing in ghosts. Dearest Mama left a message in my Pip Boy for me. She set it to go off when the background radiation went above a certain level, a level that would be, what the vault was. So as soon as I stepped out the vault door, my Geiger went off a little bit, just a little, background radiation and everything, and I got a message from Mom. Apparently, she said that not only was she an amazing geneticist, best in the world, but she was a pretty decent computer programmer. She also let me know that I was apparently only half human. She had spliced some unique genetic material that she had managed to acquire from a company based in West Virginia with affiliations with the U.S. government. And she had spliced that genetic material into one of her eggs to create me. And she placed me in her and ran away to America. She used her genetic knowledge and scientific know-how to get a spot in 76 with the condition that she would agree to run some very low-key genetic tests in 76. So, note to self, never trust Vault Tech, except apparently the overseer. My mom, as soon as the doors closed, told the overseer what Vault Tech's plan was, which apparently surprised her since Vault Tech had assured her that 76 would be a control vault. So they mutually agreed not to run those experiments, and that was that. Unfortunately, Mom died due to complications of apparently a non-human birth, and so I was left without a mom. The overseer was decent to me, but overall, most of the people in the vault left me alone, kept me at arm's length. I think at least the adults knew I wasn't completely human and didn't want to be affiliated with me. Kids probably just took the attitude of the adults. Oh well. Mom wanted me to keep in touch with the overseer. I'm not sure. I'm not really interested in rebuilding America, but I'll follow. I know she went to Flatwoods. I followed her there. Met some robots and stuff, but otherwise everybody else is dead. I did find another holotape from her at the Vault Tech Agricultural Center. That place is a mess. Robots attacking. Crazy. They put humans as fertilizer, which is accurate. I mean, they do degrade. I mean, I can see that. I can see various uses for bodies, but not when it's mine. So I had to change their programming. I'm gonna follow her to her house. Apparently, I think it's her old parents' house or something. Anyways, but along the way, I'm supposed to. Mom left me a message, like I said, and on that message, I'm supposed to meet the daughter of one of her old frat buddies, a lady named Judy, and Etta Phi, I think. Is that maybe where she said? Yeah, Etta Phi House, I think is where I'm supposed to be looking at. I've seen some signs that apparently there was some sort of party being planned near VTU, so hopefully I'll see what's going on with that. Overall, though, I'm not really interested in rebuilding America. There's some crazy stuff going on the way up to Tech University, I've already run into some sort of I don't know how to describe it, like a wolf pack, but it's spread out all over, and they were coordinated. It's almost like they were intelligent. They dropped some. I don't know how would a wolf have eaten a security baton? I don't understand that. But one of them had one in there, so it was really useful. It swung pretty fast. So I'm pretty happy about that. But I just how would a wolf even eat that? That just stuns me.
How would a wolf eat a security baton? That was one of the first things I remember noticing about the game. Was the bad guys didn't drop the weapons that they were holding in their hands. That always puzzled me.
Yeah. That's really frustrating when you have a challenge to kill something with an axe, and every axe wielding Scorch drops sickles.
That's the worst. I've never even swung a sickle. I don't think. Scrap those immediately.
They're a decent medium weapon.
They're not bad. We tried using one for that farm challenge, kill something with a farm tool, but found the what was it? The pitchfork was more effective.
Yeah, pitchfork is a two-handed, so it's a stronger weapon.
And Frey, did you? No, wait. Who said they found the 3-star pitchfork? Was that Eric or was that Freighter? I think that was Eric, wasn't it?
Wasn't me.
A furious 3-star pitchfork. Yeah, I'm excited to have legendary items drops back, guys. This is going to be better this weekend, I hope.
So have you guys not gotten any since the patch? Is that part of the problems you're having?
Right. I had so there were two things going on. One is that there used to be a lot of no star legendaries that would drop stuff.
Yep.
And evidently that was a mistake.
Yep.
In the programming, and so they've taken those out. So
Okay.
it's either a starred legendary or no legendary.
I saw all the no star legendaries popping up the last little bit, and yeah, I didn't know if that was a mistake or if they were going to actually increase the number of legendary monsters in the game. So that was a mistake then. So they've slowed down.
Yeah. But so those aren't going to drop legendaries anymore. It evidently it's going to take them a while to figure out how to get that tag off of them. But if it doesn't have a star, it's not going to have a legendary. The problem I had was that even starred legendaries, when you would go check their inventory, there'd be nothing in it.
Right.
They'd be empty.
I mean, to a small extent, that's been a problem from the beginning. That 3-star legendary creatures should drop 3-star weapons or armor. 2 stars should drop 2-star items, 1-star items, and that's never matched up. And sometimes you get them without, and that's a severe disappointment when you fight a 3-star and you get a 1-star combat knife. But this, this sounds much worse. On Tuesday when I played in regular adventure mode, I don't think I fought any starred legendary at that point, so I didn't even notice.
Let's continue on with Dwight.
Vault 76 opened its door. It was like someone tipped over a bucket of assholes all over West Virginia. Brock Anderson left the vault like he was making a jailbreak. He knew it was going to be a pure call feeding frenzy out there for resources, though. First order of business, arm up. He was scouring every box he could find for a good boomstick. It went out of nowhere. Some guy walked up, dropped a kitted out Marine wetsuit, waved, and took off. Brock wasn't going to ask too many questions. Besides, it looked real cool, and he really wanted it. Maybe not all these assholes were so bad. After finding a nice 10mm, Brock decided to find the one thing in this world he could not live without. Fancy lad snack cakes. That sickly sweet good like a balm to his soul. He figured the amusement park would be a good place to look. After fighting off a bunch of those scorch things, however, all he found was a sad lost Jangles toy. Now maybe it was Fancy Lad's withdrawal, or maybe it was the loss of innocence that dilapidated park represented. But old Brock was feeling pretty down. He suddenly felt the need to find the only people in the vault he could stand to be around. First, he found Tyr. He's a good kid, good in a scrap and heart of a lion. Then Rebecca. He may have come from a family of Reds and have some boy named Sue hang-ups going, but he's got guts, and guts is enough. They both got handed a raw deal in life, and maybe old Brock had a soft spot for people making the most of the shitty hand they're dealt. Now, normally Brock is a self-contained unit, but if hanging with these two pipe-swinging fuckers is going to get him down the road a few more miles, you bet your ass they can be pals. They wanted to check out this lighthouse, and Brock figured why not. They lit it up, and damned if a giant freaking moth didn't drop from the sky. Damnedest thing he'd ever seen. Made him feel good, though, fuzzy, like everything was going to be okay. After that, they ran into a lady named Vasila who clued them into some good drinks at an old frat house. They found the booze and more. Sweet baby Jesus, fancy lad snack cakes, jackpot. They all tried the Nuka Shine, and then everything went funny colors until it went black. Powerful stuff. Now, next thing old Brock knows is waking up on the side of a strange mountain, his favorite head's ringing like the bells at St. Mary's. The scene is strange. There's a small picnic area with 3 skeletons, and in the middle is a skull on top of a pumpkin. Brock wondered what the helter-skelter hell went on here, but then he figured he really didn't want to know. Brock sat down on the edge of the cliff and thought about the good luck he had had so far. That could have gone way worse. As his head cleared, he slowly savored his fancy lads and was taken with how beautiful everything looked from here. Yeah, he was going to kick Appalachia's ass, New York hardcore style. So take old Brock Anderson's advice when the earth is quaking and the pillars of heaven are shaking. When you're fighting your way through the dark, wondering who's going to shine a light to lead you home. You never can tell. May just be a giant damn moth. No horseshit.
Very nice. I like that point of view, Dwight. Very funny storytelling there. I like the Mothman. His holy shit, the moth just appeared out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's the only time he'll be nice.
Yeah, that was fantastic. I really like the third person kind of journal storytelling too, or more like log. You know, there's log entries. Brock did this. Good old Brock. That was really cool.
Nicely done. Well done, Dwayne. All right. Sherry T is up. Sherry just joined up the what are we calling it these days?
Well, the name changed a lot this morning. We had an eventful morning in the Xbox meetup group. It's
going to be a straight eggplants is the name right now. It's just all eggplants across the top.
But yeah, it was the Xbox meetup group. It changed a few times, and it ended up Xbox Friends meetup group. So it is not a dating site. It is not a hookup group. It is not the Sexbox meetup, MEAT, that somebody might have changed it to.
My bad. Sorry about that. I don't know if that's something we've discussed a lot in depth in the show. Do we have to deal with any jealousies with spouses on playing online? Are there tensions that form with anyone at home? Freighter, your lady get stressful on you?
No, not really, no. As long as I'm home, she's happy.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that comes up sometimes, you know? My motto is I'm here to play games, not steal your man. But sometimes, you know, if you're playing online with people, there can be some jealousy if you play with people pretty regularly. My husband's fine, you know. He calls you all my internet boyfriends, and it's fine. If anything, it's more how long the podcast takes sometimes.
Oh yeah. Sorry, man.
No, it's great. And I know Tori before, your wife, she said, you know, I believe she even posted in the Facebook group once about how great it is to, you know, have a geek husband. She knows where you're going to be, down in the basement playing your games.
Yeah, she says that a lot. And she knows where I am. I'm in the basement playing my video game instead of out at some bar, you know, hitting on a floozy or something. So I guess that's a good thing, right? Nerding out in the basement.
But I'm sure there are some people who don't like, you know, male or female, something competing for their time. And whether that hobby is video games, cars, music, you know, it can happen with anything.
Yeah, absolutely. Right on. Well, Sherry T just joined up in our meetup thread. each platform has a sort of a meetup chat thread going. The PC people, you guys tend to do it on like Discord or something, right?
Right.
But on the Facebook Messenger, we have one for the Xbox and one for PS4. If anyone out there is interested in the Facebook group, or if you're interested in joining up and getting into one of those chat threads, so we just basically bounce ideas off each other and say, "Hey, I'm hopping on. Anybody help me out? Who's got my 40 mil grenade ammo? Hit me up."
Yeah, there's also a Facebook Messenger PC group too.
Oh, there's a PC one too. Okay. Well,
Yeah,
anybody to join up.
there can be a lot of just chat in the groups, so expect to check in and have 100 messages sometimes. But it's been an invaluable tool too.
Yeah, sometimes you can't scroll back to see all 100 messages, and you just gotta say, "Damn it, Jerry, what are you doing?" All right. Hi, Sherry.
Hello, everyone. This is Sherry T. I'm continuing the story of my character, Corey, she of little to no endurance. When we last talked about her, she had just figured out that she could take her useless protest sign and pull the board off of it, put some nails in it, and voila, a spiked board, which can now be upgraded as she levels up. And she did find herself, or finally get to the level she could use a double-barrel shotgun. So either way, she's got to engage enemies from pretty much up close. So she found herself in the Tyler County Fair area and found herself that little blow-up monkey, Jingles. And while she was there, she got a notice on her Pip-Boy from the responders that there were those pesky packs of wolves nearby. So, taking her spiked board and her shotgun, she headed out and found the first small pack, promptly contracted Lockjoint, which affects her AP on melee, which is bad for her. And what was really bad was going for the third pack all the way up by the Aaron Holt homestead, and there was nothing there. It turns out that her time ran out and the wolves spirited themselves away and she failed. So on to another day. She was actually on her way to find out about these frat parties and beverages, but server went down. So on another quest, started again, got another notification that the wolves were back, and heading out after the wolves, found 2 packs on the way to the third pack, and again, the deadly server issue. Well, Corey is nothing if not persistent. After taking over the Tyler County dirt track a few times, got another notification. The leader of the pack, again, she took care of the 3 packs, got a couple of not too bad legendary weapons, and when it was time to go for the final boss, it turns out there really was no boss. It was just it seemed like a regular wolf, and there wasn't really much reward. I'm not even sure if she finished the quest or not, but anyway, that's done with for now. Just hope that all these server issues were related to the newest patch, and it'll be better in a few days.
Oh, good
So anyway, that's it for Corey and me, Sherry T, and I'll see you in the wasteland.
Awesome. Thank you, Sherry. And we will see you in the wasteland. It'll be fun to meet up. So yeah, these server issues, I've had them plenty. I'm not exactly sure what day she recorded this, but if it's been within the last few or before Tuesday, and everything before Tuesday was terrible. I haven't played a ton since Tuesday, but is it better or worse?
I think it got a little bit worse again. I felt like it was starting to get safe to take a workshop again, because nuclear winter, things started going real bad for 2-3 weeks in the regular servers. They were slowly getting better, at least mostly, and then this happened. So yeah, I think we're still having issues.
Yeah, that parallels my experience.
And what's up with this hot patch thing that they were going to do, but then they had to delay for a day or something, right?
Yeah, there's still more to come. I mean, they knew that there were a lot of issues with patch 11 right away. They said hot fix planning on Wednesday. Then Wednesday they said we're going to need another day to bake on this. And then the hot fix came out today, and it fixed some of the most egregious issues supposedly. But they pretty much admitted that yeah, there's more. We're going to have to work on this. It'll be a little bit. They mentioned that in today's Iguana Bits because they posted an Iguana Bits today about the hotfix. But they also got deeper into the new event coming up. So we learned more about the Graham event. They're trying to, give us a little good with the bad.
Oh, nice. That'll be fun.
Don't get mad and leave. What's coming?
Meat.
Do we know, will there be some sort of, rare item set to collect with a super low probability spawn rate and all that, similar to a Fashnacht thing?
One
with
in 100,000. We don't know what we're going to get exactly, but there are going to be 2 events. It is detailed in Iguana Bits, so I won't go into it too far, but there's the Primal Cuts part of the event, which is going to be about collecting special meat and getting it to Graham in a certain amount of time, different locations on the map, and different difficulties. It will involve fighting. Then the second half, which is called Graham's Meat Cook, which is kind of funny given what we're talking about with the chat earlier today. Graham's Meat Cook is going to be no enemies at all. It's just an activity where people, you're basically trying to throw a party, and we're all being party planners for Graham. And so you're playing music, you're just getting up to all kinds of stuff, it sounds like. So that'll be fun. And I bet there's going to be some special rewards.
That sounds great, actually.
Mm-hmm.
That's really fun. That was always my favorite part of the Fashnacht was the music jam out.
Wasn't
It
that
looks
great?
like one of the awards is going to be some legendary script.
Oh yeah, they're giving script, aren't they, for some of the meat?
Yep.
That'll be a great new way to get script.
That's my favorite flavor of meat, script.
That's you mash it up with a bunch of pepper, call it Skripple.
Skripple.
Sorry. Regional food reference there.
Yes. Frater, you're a food guy in Canada. You ever experienced Scrapple?
Nope. Never even heard of it. Well, outside of this group.
Have we brought it up on the show before? Is this something we're beating into the ground?
We might have last fall. I feel like we might have. We were talking about sausage or something.
If Pat wasn't vegan, he lives in Scrapple country. The Philadelphia areas. Lots of good Scrapple. I don't know. What is it? Organs, probably?
It's a peppered meatloaf. Yeah, it's just a bunch of meat ends and extra meat. Instead of making sausage out of it, they make it into a loaf with a bunch of pepper and you slice it up and you fry it for breakfast. My pappy used to love it, so I had a lot of it growing up.
I've had it. I went to high school in Pennsylvania, and I had some family in Pennsylvania would visit when I was a kid. So, yeah, I've had it quite a few times. It's definitely interesting. A little smushy texture, but good.
But Sherry's feedback was great, and she had the same. You could tell from our own adventures last week that the leader of the pack event may be a tough one to actually finish properly. She said she wasn't even quite sure it was done when it was done. Of course, that could have been partly server issues, I suppose.
If you have 3 people on a team, can you each just go to one area and take care of it that way? Can you split up?
I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I've done that once before, but there was only 2 of us.
Good way to get it done in the time frame, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're moving around all the time, so it did cut the time down quite a bit.
Very nice. Thank you for your feedback, Sherry. Keep them coming in. Let's move on to Josh.
This is Josh from Idaho, aka Brett with the Facebook group. Sending in feedback for Corey. He is currently level 21. He's still a postman. His strength is supposed to get up to 15. He's currently at level 8. He has all 3 ranks of traveling pharmacy, his assigned perk. Perception is a 1, and it has to stay that way. I am not high enough level to get the perk that I need for that. Endurance is a 3 with Good Doggy. I've gotten that. I like that card. Charisma is only a 1. Intelligence is at an 8, and I have all 5 ranks of Gunsmith, which was my assigned perk. Agility is a 2, and Luck of 5, and I have all 3 ranks of Luck of the Draw. That seems to pop off a lot, where it randomly fixes my weapon when I'm using it. I believe that's what it does. Camp is in the Cranberry Bog. That was really tough getting there at a lower level, but I got there, and it seems like a lot of level 68 super mutants come by my camp pretty frequently, but usually it's only 1 or maybe 2 at the most at one time. So I do have my assigned range weapon, which is the single action revolver. I do like it. I just got it at level 20. So I haven't had it that long. I am looking to try and find a starred one. It's just a normal one. And then I got the guitar sword, which was my assigned melee weapon. Not a fan of it. It's too slow and doesn't do enough damage, and you can't mod it. I using a death tambo most of the time instead. I did take my assigned workshop, which was Tyler County Dirt Track, which was good early on. It's a pretty easy one to take. Just had some protectrons that I had to take out. It had resources was 2 silver, 1 steel, and 1 aluminum. So that was pretty nice early on in the game. While I was doing that, Leader of the Pack kicked off, and I didn't really notice it because I was busy just messing around in Tyler County Dirt Track. And so I didn't start that until there was only 15 minutes left on the timer. So I did lots of running around and blindly swinging at wolves. Corey liked this a lot because, mailman and dogs. Let's see, personal matters. The agri research and the Sutton ones, I picked those up, both those tapes without anything interesting happening. Done half of Wasted on Nuka Shine. Got deposited for my hangover in a tree house in the mire near where I needed to be for a Pioneer Scout quest where you get all the bug parts. So I went ahead and did that, and I haven't finished up Nuka Shine yet. Let's see, I ran away from a honey beast as I tried to pick up the bloatfly gland. That's hard to do with an agility of 2. I did recently tack on 1 rank of action boy, so I think that will help. I do like running away from things sometimes, especially when dingoes. I think they're my least favorite thing that I've encountered in the game. They always just whoop my ass. So I ended up doing the quests for the Pioneer Scouts where you clean up the lake, and I think I did it as fast as I could ever do it because I had a Wendigo chasing me and trying to kill me. So I just ran and picked the things up, and then finally found the spot where I deposited them and was done. Let's see, I used the explosive bait with a Scorch Beast. And it didn't come down. So not sure if I just didn't throw it in a good area or what, but I'll be trying that again because explosive bait is my assigned grenade. Let's see. I had a question for everybody in the group or that's on the show tonight, and anybody that wants to let me know on Facebook. But what are everyone's thoughts on like building things at friends' camps? I'm wondering, does it use their resources or does it use the resources you have? And do people want other instruments built at their camp? I have like the snare drum and the bass and the banjo and those ones. And I think I was at Andrew's camp and I saw he had 1 instrument and I thought, well, maybe I should build a couple, but that's like, don't know if he really wants that or what. So I just figured I would ask a general question to the group and see what everybody's thoughts were. But I didn't get to do Jangles yet or Path to Enlightenment. So I'm going to try and jump on and get those done as well. But there's my feedback. I play on Xbox, and I'm Hoshi, Hoshee 13. So feel free to add me as a friend. Talk to you later. Bye.
Sweet. Thanks so much, Josh. So do we want to chime in on this question?
Definitely.
Ray, are you going to build something at a friend's camp?
So I never have.
And is that because you just don't build at camps, or is that out of some unspoken?
It's mostly because I just never have collected plans. So I've changed that with Batosai because she's building a mansion. So
When you say you don't collect plans, do you mean you don't do like events, or you just don't ever read them and unlock them and you just sell them?
It's mostly just that I never bought any. The only plans I ever bought was the neon letters, and that was just for a couple of screenshots, and that was it. I needed to make a Fallout feed sign, and then I pasted some of the Greek letters over the top of it for that Fallout show.
That was so good.
You spent like how many thousands and thousands? It's like 15,000 caps.
9,400.
It's an amazing amount of caps.
But it was trivial for Abby.
Oh, pish posh.
Yeah, I mean she's always got so many stinking caps. It's not funny.
And is that because God, I blow through them because I fast travel all over the GD place, you know? Like I don't.
She does too, but it's mostly because she's a grinder.
Yeah. Grinding
So,
cat.
21 straight jackets at 45 caps each is,
Yeah. I wasn't getting 45.
gets the job done.
That's interesting. I was interested to see, is it better to have 15 charisma or to have like 1 or 3 charisma with a barter card of 3?
I mean,
she has a 4 charisma and the barter card of 3. So
yeah, so your prices are better. So yeah, it's way better to get the card over charisma. Interesting. Good to know. All right. So Jess, are you building at a friend's house?
Yeah, definitely. Well, we've all done that for fun because when you team up, it can be fun to sneak something into somebody's camp sometimes, as we've all discussed. Leave a little message, surprise outlet on the wall. First thing I ever got, my first grand piano was one Alex made for me. But last, I think it was Sunday or Monday, I went on my main character and I did defenses for Angel's new camp. Because her RT character is in the 30s, I think, low 30s, but she wanted some missile turrets. So I went over, and it became a big thing because, me and building. But I'm like, okay, we need to redo your roof a little bit because I couldn't set turrets on it because it was floating. So we redid the roof, changed the stairs a little bit, and then, a couple of missile turrets, a couple of the heavy machine gun turrets and stuff. Just get her decent defense for the mire in her assigned area. And I think that's great to do for people because while we can't build Atom Shop items, some of us are plan hounds. And to answer Josh's question, it does use your own materials, not theirs.
Oh, good to know. Mm-hmm. Now, one thing you do want to be aware of is you want to take note of who is building stuff at your camp that you yourself cannot build. Because if you want to ever move your camp in one fell swoop, you will have to take those things and store them first, and then like blueprint everything or however they do that, and then move your house. Because if you cannot build those items and you have them out, you won't be able to drop your house anywhere. So you need to store those items. If you yourself cannot build those items and someone has built them at your house, store those first or scrap them or get rid of them, and then you can move your place.
Right.
Which
So I never blueprint my camps.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't either.
And when you move, everything is stored automatically.
Yep.
Because when Abby first built her first camp, Phil was with me, and he's putting bathtubs and toilets and station signs and pianos and guitars and everything else. And Abby didn't have any of the plans to do any of that stuff. Well, when she moved to the cliffs over the White Spring, all that stuff just came with. And when she went to put everything back down, it was all still in that stored inventory.
That's interesting because Jess helped me build a bunch of stuff on the character, and I couldn't move it because
we had it both ways. I've seen it work both ways. As long as everything's stationary and it's moving as a whole unit, and the game doesn't think you're rebuilding it, it'll move fine, like Ray's saying. Because when we did that one camp where I added way too many things to it and you moved it, you were able to place it once. But then something happened with the blueprint. Some stuff got jostled and stored, and then you couldn't place it down as a blueprint after that and had to break it up.
Well, if you do it as a blueprint, then you have to have the materials to rebuild it.
Right. No, when I say blueprint, I'm talking the stored version. The
stored version,
looks
okay.
like a blueprint that's stored. Yeah,
Okay.
which is different, right? Because it's kind of like when you're working on a project, you can save a file that just references the files you use, or you can save it zipped, so you get all the files together. So yeah, the stored blueprint is like that kind of zip where everything is in there already, and that should move fine, like you're saying, Ray. But
Yeah, because that you don't have to rebuild.
Right. But we have seen where if something gets stored or something gets jostled, you can't put down that stored item anymore and have to split it up.
yeah, it's not going to be a concern for me anymore. I have, but all my other characters have been moving all over the damn place, and they have all sorts of, just every couple weeks moving to a new location, all over the map. But I've never really had like a nice, good centralized location. Well, I'm on my assigned resource and my assigned location. So I think that I found a pretty good place, and I built this gigantic mansion that there's no way this thing would ever fit anywhere else.
No, it's huge and very customized.
It's absolutely built into the mountainside, and like the rocks are incorporated into the basement structure and everything. So like there's no way this thing would ever be able to be moved anyway. But I think I'm going to just park it because I got the achievement of moving your camp 76 times already, so I don't really need to, move towards that batch of atoms anymore. I think that batch of atoms was surprisingly low. It was like 40 atoms for like moving your camp 76 times. They should give you 760 damn atoms for that. Jeez.
Well, how many atoms do you get for playing 7,600 hours? I don't think it scales.
It should give you fucking party. The fucking vault boy should come to your house. I don't know.
So talking about camps, Freighter, I don't think I've ever been over your place. Are you into camp building much? And on PC, when you've been playing, have you built stuff at other people's camps?
Yeah, I built pretty big camps on the PC, but my my roundtable character's got Rough Sleeper as his camp build thing, so
Oh no,
it's pretty basic. But that's fine. It's keeping me moving. I don't mind.
Mhm.
But interestingly enough, Alex brought a friend over to my camp earlier today, and she was able to build Atom Shop stuff on my
Nice.
camp.
what?
So now I have the greenhouse, and I don't even remember what else they built, but it got kind of ridiculous.
Wait, she built you a greenhouse at your camp, really?
Yeah,
Huh. I didn't think that's possible.
I didn't either, but she did it, and we were like, what the hell? How did you do that?
Keep in mind, sometimes they mess up the flags. Like we were able to build red enamel stoves at people's camps for a while, even though that's a Atom Shop item. So maybe with all this goodness going on right now, they messed up some of the Atom Shop flags again.
Yeah.
Well, that's fun. Someone come over and build me one. That's great. I've only got 240 damn atoms, and only the really hard challenges left. Sucks.
How many times have you bought atoms, Andrew?
Once, I think. Yeah. Yeah. No, for the Christmas package where you got the
Yeah.
Santa beard and hat. That I think that's the only one I.
Does
But we talked about it earlier. No one out there should ever feel shame. Like for some reason there's this cloud above it. Like, oh my god, I had to purchase that. It's like, fuck that. Who cares? If you see an outfit you want, you see a geodesic dome you want, go get it.
That's the way I'm looking at it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to get that. I'm just feel bad because I bought both of the packs, with the special outfits, Elder's Coat and then the Revolutionary one, and I'm already down to like 205 atoms again. So I might need to buy them a third time to get that dome.
Yikes.
I look at it this way: every other online game like this that I ever played charged like $12.99 a month to play.
Jesus Christ, are you serious?
Like Final Fantasy 11
Yeah.
and
Wow.
all these games.
There's no way I would ever do that. I'm such a skate.
That's how it always used to be with subscription models until free to play became so big like 4 or 5 years ago in MMOs. Even didn't ESO launch with a subscription at first, or do I misremember?
Yeah, it did. I don't remember how much it was, but there was a subscription.
Yeah, probably 9 or 10. Like I paid for Lotro for, 5-6 years.
Well, I'm paying whatever it is for Xbox Live, and the only game I ever play is Fallout 76. So I'm basically paying, $10 a month to play Fallout 76. I guess if you look at it a certain way. I need to quit paying $10 a month for my fucking Xbox Live. Someone needs to tip me off to whenever there's deals. I think it's Keith. Keith always says like, "Oh, I found a deal on the cards at Best Buy," or they're like,
yeah,
he finds deals on them all the time.
They're $60 a lot of places pretty frequently, and I'm always telling you about the Bing Rewards program. Get your Bing Rewards, get cheaper.
I don't know if I could bring myself to use Bing though.
But
the
Bing challenge, the ad said it was the best.
I'm an old man set in my ways, I guess. Yeah. Let's see, Josh, building at Camp Freighter. Build Jess is building all up into your house. At one point, I had a lot of copper, so I was leaving lions at people's houses.
Nice.
And the people were getting mad about their build space. I was like, oh crap, I didn't even think about that.
They can scrap it.
Just scrap it, get rid of it, right? Yeah, right on. His camp, fucking at the Cranberry Bog. That's a rough draw. I have to get down there at the first. It's like if your settlement was, I don't know, what's something really hard in Fallout 4? Way down at Warwick Homestead or something.
The slog.
Wait, Ray crept down there at like level 1 or 2 once, didn't you? Did you make it all the way to the ship?
Yeah, for the agility bobblehead.
Level 1 or something?
Right. Yeah, I had to be really careful not to discover anything on the way down.
Yeah, it's hard not to level up.
It took a lot to figure out a path that I could take that I wouldn't discover any locations at all or run into any enemies.
Yeah, that would take some figuring. That's crazy. I can't believe. Do you still remember it? Could you do that again if you had to?
I could get pretty close.
That's fun. Sweet. Oh, I was thinking about this the other day, Ray. How close are you getting to Nancy play? There was rumors that she might be rolling a character or something.
Yeah, that's kind of fizzled. It was all great when she was, on the road listening to the podcasts and talking to Sarah at lunch and everything, and then she's just kind of faded back.
Made best friends with Sarah, and Sarah's like, "You need to be on the podcast." She's like, "Yay!" That's totally great. Right on. So thanks for the feedback, Josh. Give the guitar sword a chance. I say I like it a little bit. But I didn't even think about it. You can't upgrade that. Can you upgrade the death tambos? Can you the other instrument weapons? Can you improve?
I think they're all the same. Tambo and War Drum. I don't think they have mods.
No, you can find legendaries,
Yeah.
but not modem.
Sweet. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, it's nice to be able to upgrade stuff. But certain things there's only like one or two upgrades, and you can't ever find them. They're like impossible. The fire axe, I never find those fire axe spikes. It takes forever to find those damn spikes, and I love using that fire axe as a weapon.
Yeah, that single action revolver that he drew is it's a really cool looking gun, but holy crap, it takes forever to load.
Do you have
one bullet at a time?
Is it a 5 spinner chamber, and you have to load each
6?
A 6 shot, and you have to load each bullet in 6,
Yeah.
one at a time. That's awesome.
You can shoot it after you load one bullet if you have to, but it's just slow.
Is there a fast hands or something? What was that card?
Yeah, there's a couple of
Reload
of good pistol perks.
Will speed demon affect reload speed?
Yep, it does.
That's awesome. I have a couple of serums, but they're not like marsupial, so I don't feel like they're super important. So I'm holding off until I get to high enough level where I can get the card that makes your mutations 75% less. It removes the 75% of the negative effects of your mutations.
Yep, the class freak card.
Class freak. I'm saving a couple of because they're not vital. They're not the most important mutations, but I want them still.
Yeah, I just my main character. I've got 6 or 7 mutations now that I didn't before. Also, chat agrees. We are echoing a bit through you, Andrew. I think Ray and I both.
All right, I will hop off and hop back on. You guys vamp for a second.
We haven't had that in a while.
Oh, it's still there.
Oh, let's see. Now he's logged off. Is it still there?
Oh, that's way better.
Yep. So yeah, it's through Andrew's mixer. But hey, vamping for a second. I want to say I thought it was cool that he kept it in the family. Josh kept it in the family with the tambo, even though he couldn't use the guitar sword. And this is Sherry Dwight's. That's their first time doing feedback. Is it Eric's first time doing feedback too? He's done feedback in the group for a while, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah,
a lot of new participants. I know we have 9 people doing feedback tonight. Just a reminder to people, because we rolled like 20 characters at the beginning of the season, all that work Ray put in, that even if you're not giving feedback every episode, feel free to jump in sometime. Don't worry about skipping a week or two. We don't have a couple people this week who came last week, but we, always happy to hear from you. It's fine to take a week off and come on back.
Yeah, and that's the great thing about the side quest roundtable is that you can, even if you've just got one, set of quests that you really enjoy, or that really fit your character to a T, just do the feedback for that if that's all you have time for. We definitely like hearing everybody's stories.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Drop in, drop out. Mostly drop in, please.
Right on. Let's continue on with Will. Hey, Will.
The alarm went off at 6:30 in the morning. Oh, hell no. My hand crashed down upon it, renewing the blissful silence in my small dark room, hundreds of feet below the ground. The overseer must have been crazy to expect us all to get up that early after the wild party the night before. So I went back to bed. So what if I'm the last person out the vault? What were they going to do? Kick me out? Several hours later, I was staring into the mirror, head throbbing from the hangover, finger running down the long scar over my left eye. I received it in 2086 after rumors that my uncle, Thomas Eckhart, was either dead or missing. He was president of the United States at the time, and it seemed people always had ill comments about his ethics. I tried to explain that running a country is hard, and sometimes unpopular decisions have to be made for the good of all. Come on, people. Think big picture. Everyone knew that I had wanted to be like him since I was a kid. It was a source of many fights. If I wasn't being called a commie plant because my grandfather had defected to China, I was getting grief because they thought I denied a more deserving person a spot in the vault. being allowed entrance due to my uncle's political clout. I was understandably emotional after hearing this latest rumor, and someone made a particularly nasty comment about him. Next thing I remember, I woke up in the infirmary with a gash across the entire side of my face. Anyways, it was time to finally leave. Time to see what had become of the world outside, and more important, time to find out what had actually become of my uncle. The vault was shut off from the rest of the world, so news was unreliable at best. I wanted to know the truth. For all I knew, he was still alive and well. In no way did I believe some of the stories I had heard about him. Figured the Capitol building in Charleston might have some answers. A few last strums on my guitar, and I turned out the lights in my room, my home for the last 25 years, for the final time. Stopped for a few minutes to play soccer with Mr. Handy on the way out. I kicked his ass. He said I had an advantage because I had feet. Hey, nobody likes a sore loser. Enough with the excuses. Then it was on to the overseer's office. I wanted to see if there was any real information on her terminal she had kept from us. Not much. She did mention that Vault-Tec had directed her to secure some nuclear silos. This seemed like a promising lead. My uncle would certainly have had access to these. I decided I needed to follow her to find out about these and any other government locations I should know about. A quick look through her observatory window over the vault, and I made my way outside. Appalachia, while still beautiful, had become a wasteland. Commie robots attacked me steps outside the vault. There were overgrown, mutated animals everywhere, and not a living soul around, except for these scorched beings, if you could call them living. At least I found a usable shotgun on one of their corpses, though. I followed the overseer's trail into Flatwoods, where I underwent some responders training. It was evident I was going to have to learn a lot about survival very fast. While collecting a water sample from the stream, though, some handy bots started attacking me. An automated alert came out that the handy's programming had corrupted, and they were trying to use humans for composting materials to grow their crops at the agricultural center. My shotgun blasted away the 3 supervisors outside. Then I went in the building to remove human class from the farmhand's directives on the terminal. While there, I saw a log from the overseer. Nothing about the silos or her mission, just a personal log. Seems she had spent a lot of her time here as a little girl running through corn mazes and stuff, but mentioned she was off to visit her childhood home in Sutton. I spent the rest of my time there looting anything and everything I could find. Large left antlers? You bet. I don't know why, but I want it. Before heading to Sutton, I went to Morgantown Airport to register for some more advanced responders training. Believe it or not, guys, I already knew how to boil water. Oh, wait, with salt? Okay, that is advanced. Learned some camping techniques from some dead guy and his very resentful robot. Then I saw my first scorched beast and knew the world was fucked. This was what had been turning all the people into the hive-minded scorched everywhere. Now I needed to find my uncle more than ever. There was info on a responders terminal at the airport about defeating the scorched and a lead on an inoculation project that I would look into, but I knew my uncle probably had way better classified info, or a plan even, on eliminating them. So back on the overseer's trail and off to Sutton. Sutton had been overrun by raiders. Well, raiders now turned scorched, all of which were easily dispatched by my shotgun before running out of ammo and then switching to a combination of a hunting rifle and combat knife. The overseer's childhood home was a cute 2-story blue house. On the walls in a room were VTU posters, her diploma, and loads of ski equipment and decorations. Didn't know she was such an enthusiast. Again, no pertinent information on the holotape she left behind. I hadn't expected any. Mainly just talk of growing up listening to the Silver Shroud with her family. She did mention that while rewarding, spending the last 25 years cooped up with the same people was also very challenging. Wait, she doesn't mean me, does she? The next stop on her stroll down memory lane was Morgantown High School. What? Damn it, I was just in Morgantown. Oh well. It was late, so I spent the night sleeping in her bed. I felt a little creepy doing so, but she had obviously put new sheets and a blanket on it while she was here, and the bed in the other room was bare. It's not like I was trying on her clothes or anything. Okay, maybe I did sleep in a nightgown, but what was I supposed to do? Sleep in my dirty tan suit? I could have slept naked, I guess, but which is worse? When I woke the next morning, I had an alert on my Pip-Boy from Brock Anderson. He and Tyr were near the area and seen my Pip-Boy pinging my location on the map. Security risk. I don't want my location being broadcast to strangers all across Appalachia, but I was happy to meet up with them. Brock was a misunderstood security guard who had intervened in more than one altercation I was involved in, while Tyr was a quiet guy who usually hid in some corner of the vault with his nose in a book. Together, we were the misfits of Vault 76. We met up near the Landview Lighthouse, but we started receiving a broadcast from our brother Moncrief, whose body we would later find beside a note to the high priestess of an order he belonged to called the Cult of Mothman, to relight the lighthouse using the bioluminescent fluids of the fireflies that use the area as a mating ground. This would supposedly summon the Mothman. Sounded ludicrous, yet also perfect for the misfits of Vault 76 to have a little fun. I never imagined in my life I would need a machete to kill a firefly, but that's what it took, as the three of us ran around killing the innocent little creatures and depositing their fluids into the lamp under some madman's directions. And what do you know? The light eventually shone brightly, and indeed, the Mothman answered our call. No, I swear he did. We communed with him, and he imparted his wisdom upon us, all of us. That either happened, or handling the bioluminescent fluids gave us a group hallucination. We spent the rest of the time exploring the Northwest and trying to earn tadpole badges for the Pioneer Scouts. Sure, the Scouts were supposed to be small children, but there was valuable survival information to be learned, and the automated rewards machine would dispense a backpack after earning enough badges, which could be quite handy. I eventually let Tyr and Brock go about their way, completing tadpole achievements, while I stayed behind to get my camp situated. We had wandered across a place called Aaronholt Farms, and I decided to build near a junk pile there. I thought it was a perfect place since corn, razor grain, and taters all freely grew there. Not to mention my favorite, cranberries. You haven't lived until you've delighted in the experience that is cranberry relish. Now to find some gourds. So I started searching the surrounding area until I came to the Tyler County Fairgrounds. It brought me back to the day we all first entered the vault. It was chaos. Everyone had to drop everything they were doing, no matter what it was, and get to the vault immediately. I remember a small girl at the entrance. She was crying and screaming that she didn't want to go without Jangles, her moon monkey. It was a toy, of course, but she had lost it at the fair. She kept screaming, "I need Jangles. The bombs are going to kill him," while tears streamed down her face. Felt really bad for the little girl. So yeah, here it was, 25 years later, and I'm risking my life in the scorched, riddled fairgrounds, looking for a toy that probably isn't even here, for a little girl who's not a little girl anymore, and that I would never see to give it back to. Even if it was here, it had probably deteriorated so badly from the elements that I couldn't pick it up without it falling apart. I had much more important things to do. But I slowly eliminated Mini Scorched with my hunting rifle as I searched every nook and cranny. In a Nuka-Cola shaped building, I found a bobblehead for my collection, as well as a cat stash someone had left behind. So my efforts were paying off. Next to that, I saw a stand called Farm to Food, and inside, on the ground, leaning up against an ice machine, was Jangles the Moon Monkey, in miraculously good condition. Well, what do you know? I picked up Jangles, and on the counter above where he'd been waiting for rescue all these years were some gourds. Who says good deeds go unrewarded? Cranberry relish? Here I come. So that's it for this week. Just realized I forgot to get into the Wasted on Nukashine quest. I did do it. Dwight, Sarah, Jesse, and I all went to the frat party together and had quite a bit of fun. But I'm short on time, and this feedback is already long. I probably should have put the exiting the vault stuff in the character's introduction a couple of weeks ago. Sorry. I'll try to touch on the Wasted on Nukashine quest at the beginning of next week's feedback while I work on brevity. At the end of these quests, Rebecca was level 14, but had yet to assign any of his accrued perk points. So the very next thing I'm doing is coming up with a roadmap for him so I can distribute the points and take perks without having to worry about making any bad decisions. One other thing, I talked briefly about the cranberry relish on the podcast last week, but I thought it was worth pointing out that on top of the 10% XP boost mentioned, it also gives 200 extra AP. And I remember reading somewhere that it's considered a superfood or very large healing food, which means that it satiates hunger twice as much as the regular foods do. So it's a really good food to craft. I found the recipe for this character exploring a farm near Aaronholt, Anchor, I think. But that was probably just a random placement. It can be purchased from the shelf in White Springs, though. Enough rambling. I will say goodbye, Fallout fam, and I will see you in the wasteland.
Very nice. Thank you, Will. I love that cranberry relish. I need to go find myself a guy. I still don't have it with this character yet, but yeah, I need to go find myself some gourds. Where did you get your gourds? I don't even remember.
Tyler County Fairground.
There's gourds there. I always confuse them with like, oh look, gourds, but it's you pick them up and it's like, oh wait, that's a pumpkin. Why do the pumpkins look so weird? Well, always a treat to hear your stories, sir. Continuing journey, please keep them coming our way.
Yeah, that was excellent feedback. I just wanted to say, Will, it doesn't take a machete to kill a firefly. It just takes a fox 10 episodes.
Kaboom.
For my brown coats out there.
Ray, did you get that one?
Negative.
Frater, I hope, got it.
I did not. I'm sorry.
I don't know anything about it, but I know it's a TV show that was on Fox. That's all I know.
Yeah, exactly. Canceled before its time. Malcolm Reynolds as Captain Tight Pants. Great show. I know there's a bunch of brown coats in the group, so those are fans of Firefly. BT dubs.
Okay, it's nice. Shout out to all the brown coats out there in the group. Thanks, Will. Yeah, as always, keep them coming. And I always love hearing the cross references to Jen's character too. It's always fun.
You can also pick up gourds in Raleigh Clay's bunker.
Oh shit! Really? I was just there.
That's where I got mine. Yeah, he's got some planters back in the back room.
Doesn't he also have a leveled sneak armor piece?
That comes with completing the Free States quests.
Oh, for completing it. I thought that there was a piece that just randomly spawned there or something.
Nice. I don't remember last time I saw gourds. Is that the same as the gourd blossom? Or is it more like a melon?
No, it's just like little miniature pumpkins.
Okay.
Just like the ones in Fallout 4.
Mm-hmm.
Here I am. I'm like, what? There were gourds in Fallout 4?
Yep.
That shows how much survival style stuff I've done in the past. I never ate food.
I didn't either. They were behind the first house you come to after the Red Rocket. And so you pick those up, and if you're going to return the Minutemen to Sanctuary, you have to put some plants in the ground for them to complete their rebuilding quest. And so that's just an easy place to get them.
Just grab a gourd. Everyone loves munching on a good old gourd. Squash, you see? I don't see a lot of people eating gourds.
Yeah. No, typically you don't eat a gourd. You make you shellac them and make some decoration out of them.
Make art with them. You make roadside art or bird feeders out of gourds. Never really thought about that. That's funny. Yeah, I don't really know if I've seen people eat gourds. Thank you, Will, for your feedback. Let's see what Josh K has to say. Hey, Josh K.
I was attacked in Flatwoods while on a supply run. Robots had gone independent and were attacking everything in an attempt at some sort of sadistic composting. Protectron supervisors broke after a few swings of my rocket-propelled baseball bat. They snapped like children's toys with their fiberglass armors. I'm glad I put that thing together. My Pip-Boy picked up an RF broadcast warning of frequent malfunctions of the automated agricultural staff. and they must be broadcasting unencrypted or using an old key. Surely Vault-Tec hadn't maintained an encryption sync with the outside for this long. Or maybe the Enclave secretly maintained communication with the Vault in their great wisdom. Regardless, I made my way through the Ag Research Facility, dropping bots and ghouls until stumbling upon a computer in a flooded basement. Luckily, I was able to reset the robots' programming to make them passive again. As I left the wrecked building, I passed the receptionist's desk and found a holotape left by the overseer. Some ramblings about her childhood on the farm and returning to her childhood home in Sutton. It would waste some time, but Sutton wasn't too far away, so I decided to follow up and see what her angle was. Could she really just be wandering around the wasteland, reliving the glory days while all the dwellers roamed the wasteland without guidance? No wonder so many of them had went mad and began to hunt one another in their own alleged little game. Yep, as I feared, she seemed to have gotten lost on some scavenger hunt of past memories. I'm definitely going to have to follow up on this more, and the overseer may no longer be qualified for her position, as she doesn't appear to be contributing to the cause in any way. On my journey home, I'll detour through Morgantown. I still need some supplies, and Flatwoods was tapped out. At the train station in Morgantown, I read some old frat party poster on the bulletin board. Seeing the opportunity to score some forgotten booze, I set my course in that direction. Hey, if the overseer can put her duties aside to wander the wasteland, there was no harm in a blacksmith stopping for a drink. The frat house was just as you'd expect, trashed and covered in graffiti, plastic cups littering every corner, and the bodies. I almost don't notice those anymore. It must have been an eyesore before the bombs fell. Now it seemed to fit right in. There were some ghouls wandering around the house, but then, really, where aren't there ghouls wandering around anymore? They were easily dispatched, and I soon found myself reading over a terminal upstairs about some sort of alcohol called Nukashine. Funny, I half expected to find porn. A bottle of it sat nearby, so I thought, no harm in a drink. Aren't those famous last words? I realized I had blacked out almost as soon as I came to in the forest. The splitting headache and insatiable thirst was not new to me, though it usually took quite a bit more to drink. I still had the bottle and decided to take a little closer look at it. There seemed to be some sort of riddle on the label that almost made me laugh. College kids always think themselves so smart. Following the hints of the easily solved riddle, I made my way back into town and to a tattoo parlor near the Super Duper. I'll give credit where it's due, though. The door inside the Nuka-Cola machine was genius. And as I made my way through it and into the basement, and through the door marked for employees, I met my first best friend. I had never really interacted well with others, but the inebriated robo-brain made me laugh and seemed welcoming enough as long as I made him more alcohol. To do this, I was sent to yet another frat house to find the password to the back storage area. I need to get back to work. I'm starting to feel like the overseer with all this distraction. I finished the errand as quickly as possible and bid farewell to my new friend Biv. I'd certainly be returning on my next supply run. Headed back to my small shack on the water, I passed by the Tyler County Fairgrounds. I heard some rumors of a pack of wolves terrorizing the area, and as it's practically set on my doorstep, I thought I'd step in and check it out. It was a wild goose chase, though, and no wolves were to be found. Just another child's tale, like the story I had heard about a Mothman at a local lighthouse. I checked into that one, too, on my way to Morgantown, and all I found were ghouls. Here at the fairgrounds, they were only scorched, scurrying about like the pesky little cockroaches they are. It wasn't a completely fruitless trip, however. I found a Jangles the Moon Monkey doll at the food stand. I believe I will gut him and use his insides to stuff my mattress.
Very well spent, I would say. Yeah, so the events not happening when you show up to, that they has anyone else been having that? That's a frustration of mine. You show up to an event and then just as it ends. So that must mean I can't see how much time is left until you actually show up to the event, right?
Right.
That is something they should let you know.
That would be awesome if you could hover and see the timer, or even better, if the event starts and doesn't actually start till someone gets there. Like the countdown timer doesn't start till we arrive.
Yeah, that would be great if it took some sort of indicator to start the timer. Yeah. Perfect idea. Hey, that was great feedback, Josh. Please keep them coming. Enjoying your stories so far this season. Right. So that was, I think, your second time sending in. So I was really enjoying it, man. Keep them coming in. Next, we have Jerry. So everybody, strap in and let's see what he has to say.
Good evening. It's been interesting doing my first roundtable character as Al. He got stuck with a pistol build, which I wasn't very keen on to start with, and my camp is set up in the Ash Heap, aka the ASA Pod Castle. So far, it's been going pretty well. I'm getting used to using the handguns, and I've actually got a pretty powerful Western revolver, which I've already got the hardened mod for, so that's kind of keeping most enemies at bay. I've done, I've been through Surrey, I've done the agricultural research mission. I actually traveled back to where my character used to work, the Charleston Herald, and funnily enough, picked a random office in the building just to pretend it was my own desk. And there was a handgun plan for revolver on the desk, which
Hey.
I think, funnily enough, is something that Andrew and Pat have been talking about on Facebook, where if you have specific guns in your inventory, the game is actually tending to give you rewards or plans or even legendaries at the station specifically for what you have on your inventory. Because right now I'm carrying 4 handguns and an emergency combat rifle, and the game seems to be giving me plans and modifications for specifically handguns. So I think there's something in that Andrew said he's going to do more research into. I did do the Nuka mission, where I met a robot and made some alcohol up in Morgantown area. So right now I'm just getting used to the being a handgun build. I still don't have any legendaries, which I'd like. Maybe something more powerful with a double shot that's more a higher level. And it's just been interesting because it's definitely a build that I would never plan on using. I'm definitely always a sneaky sniper type, long distance, and then as the enemies come in, take care of them. But the handgun's definitely more face to face. Maybe get a few shots, but as soon as you take that first shot, it's going to be run and gun pretty much until everyone's taken care of. So I do appreciate my first round table attempt, and it's definitely helping me enjoy the game more and trying to experiment with perks and weapons that I normally wouldn't use. So I'll sign off here and maybe get more specific on Facebook. Thanks.
Right on, Jerry. Thanks for the feedback. He very well set our placemat here to lead into the conversation. Now, Ray had mentioned in previous episode that the inventory depends. It'll have an effect on the spawns of legendaries. Meaning, if you want pistols, put a bunch of pistols in your inventory before you go harvesting for legendary items during a White Spring nuke run, and you're more likely to get legendary pistols in return when you find those off the things that you kill. That was his point, and I kind of tested it through Murgle Burgle. I had my assigned weapon is the 2-shot automatic grenade launcher. That's going to be a hard one to find. I'll probably have to like search specifically, start looking at people's camps and that sort of thing for this thing. It'll be hard to find just a random spawn of this. But I indeed tried to test this theory a little bit, but instead of doing legendary drops at the White Spring, I wanted to test it through Murgle Burgle. So the first time I went over, I didn't have any rocket launchers, any of the grenade launchers on me. So I just went and I did, I think, 2 or 3, and I got just garbage. So I decided to put on the brakes there and come back another time because, I think Will or someone mentioned, it seems like Murgle Burgle is streaky. If you get a good weapon, you can continue to get a couple of good weapons in a row. But if you get a sour apple, then call it quits because you're just gonna pull up a couple of bad ones in a row. Now, I don't know if there's any truth to that, if that's just coincidence or whatever, but it seems like there's lots of probability and coincidences involved in this whole theory. So I'd call it a quits, and I came back the next day, and when I was running around earlier that day, I happened to find 2 grenade launchers. So I was like, oh, sweet, so let's test this out. So I put them both, and then I had another one in my inventory which was broken, but I didn't know, oh, this might have an effect too. So I put that one in my inventory. I took it out of my stash, put it in my inventory. So I had 3, I think. And the first roll from Murgle Burgle had nothing. It was Bupkis. Not a good one. The second one came up with a bloodied grenade launcher. I was like, whoa, hey, we have something here. So that was a 50% chance there that, hey, one of those, I had 3 of those items in my inventory, and I came up just 2 rolls, and one of them was a grenade launcher. So hey, that looks good, Ray. That looks like that has some valid input there. The third roll was not a grenade launcher, but it was a explosive Western revolver or whatever that handgun is called. Jess said that, oh, that's actually worth hanging on to. So
Oh yeah, for give it to Jerry.
you're gonna pass that on to Jerry this weekend if he's around. I don't know. I think he's up at
It's a
this evening, but I'll see if we can pass off that weapon onto him. But so that was my experience, and I just did it. I just did 3 rolls, and 1 out of the 3, I came up with a very useful grenade launcher that I was looking for. So I don't know. Freighter, you seem to have a theory about servers, right?
Yeah, I think it's a combination of both. I think we're all right, and we all have points. We're just coming from different points of views. But certainly what server you're on certainly seems to affect what drops you get.
I have never noticed this, but again, I am not the most observant player. I just kind of passively play, and I don't know if I would actively notice if I was getting the same, like what are you getting? You're getting like the same knife over and over again, and then, but you're not like, so you switch servers, and then so I keep getting pistols on this one, and I don't, how is it organized? I don't quite understand how it works.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I was experiencing. Most of the time that I was trying this, I was at White Springs, because that's the best place to hit legendaries, right? Nice and easy. And like one time I just kept getting, I think it was flare guns over and over. I must have got like 5 or 6 of these damn flare guns. And like, what are you gonna do with that? And then I
Sell them to Jess.
yeah,
No,
I got some.
Your character was shooting off flares in the middle of a battle.
yeah, no, she was assigned a flare gun, but I assure you it's useless.
You get like a 2-shot explosive flare gun.
Yeah, when you see something that obscure that many times, there's obviously something to it.
Okay, yeah, that is strange to get. I didn't even know that it was possible to get a legendary flare gun. But it had the normal legendary effects for other guns, but just on the flare gun. That's so fun.
And then the other thing is that is carrying 3-star items in your inventory, because like we were talking about earlier, where you get a 3-star legendary enemy, it can drop a 3, 2, or a 1-star item. And
yeah,
I found that if you have only 1-star weapons in your inventory, or you don't have any starred weapons in your inventory, all of the 3-star legendaries drop 1-star items. Maybe a 2, but mostly 1s.
So,
but if you carry 3-star, at least one piece of 3-star armor and one 3-star weapon, then the 3-star legendaries are more likely to drop a 3-star item.
all right. So, what is the order of operations of importance then? If I want Ray, I'm shooting for the moon. I want a 2-shot automatic grenade launcher is what I'm aiming for. That's what I was assigned.
Mm-hmm.
Do I want to, if I'm carrying a few 3-star items and a few grenade launchers, do you think it'll be more likely to give me random 3-star items or grenade launchers with weird effects of lesser than 3 stars? Do you see my question? Which takes
right.
more?
Yeah, that I'm not sure of, and it's also going to be affected by the patch. So, patch 11, has addressed legendary. So who knows what they've tweaked in the code. And so we'll have to see going forward how that shakes out.
Yeah, I mean, they did just delete them altogether out of the game for a few days. So, ugh.
So it'll be interesting. It's going to be a little bit tougher. There's been times where you go through White Springs and basically everything drops legendaries, whether they're legendary or starred or anything.
Now you guys,
you get a ton of legendary stuff.
You guys are talking about White Spring runs. I'm assuming that you're talking about blast zones. Are you not? No,
nope.
Just regular White Spring.
Just
I'll just go
anytime.
And that's better than like the West Tech building with the super mutants. You get more legendaries at White Spring than you would at.
Well, you used to. Now it remains to be seen. So
yeah, everything's up in the air now.
Yeah.
Yeah, those level 68 ghouls, whether they're glowing or the charred ghouls, whether they're glowing or not, they do tend to have legendaries more than anything else.
You find those commonly over at the asylum, Ray?
No. Actually, I think I've only seen one 3-star legendary in the asylum.
I saw one yesterday, and as soon as I killed it, the server crashed. It was
well, it was gonna be empty anyway.
Yeah,
because it was before the hotfix.
Exactly. But I was excited to test it out. You know what I mean? It was the first one I'd seen. But this is the first time I'd went in there, Ray. Usually I've got lots of ghouls in there, and usually a Wendigo.
Yep.
But this time it was infested with, you know how every once in a while you show up to a place and there's just like a weird spawn and you're like, wait a second, you're not supposed to be here. There was blood bugs had infested the asylum.
There's always a few blood bugs on the.
It was all blood bugs. Where
yeah, if it's all blood bugs, that's weird. I've also had a couple of times now where at White Springs in the golf shop, it's little commie robots.
Yeah, I've had Protectrons and iBots and the little commie robots, just like Protectrons walking around. Like, what are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here.
And almost every one of them were legendary, so I didn't complain.
Yeah, no kidding. And you're easy to kill, so hey, sweet. Good deal.
But yeah, so it's it remains to be seen, and it's still, I mean, it's all completely random.
Yeah.
So, but it definitely looks like you can weight it with what you're carrying in your inventory.
Yep. And to add in what Frater said, and my previous opinion, that it's very much about server trend. If you're getting shit a couple times in a row, pardon me, if you're getting that a couple times in a row, hop servers. If you've had enough regenerating or auto stim pack life-saving leather left legs, don't say that 3 times fast, just hop servers.
I had no idea about this. I will now start paying attention to that sort of thing.
I feel like it could be connected. You know how vendor inventory always has certain items. You go to Cunningham and he's full of nothing but, heavy this, sturdy that, and it's all like chest pieces and left arm guards. Or another day it's something else. I wonder if the vendor inventory being only a few things aligns with the legendary drops. I don't know, but it always does seem to be some of the same based on server. And, like I said last week, I hadn't thought about what Ray had talked about before, but I trust his evidence and yours too, that it must have some effect, or at least it has prior to the current change.
Yeah. And as we've said numerous times now, this could all be up in the air. This could all just be out the window by tomorrow or whatever. Who knows what they're going to do.
But it's fun to work on.
We're expecting another hot patch, hot fix. What are you guys calling it? Hot fix?
Hot fix. Hot take.
We're expecting another one soon, but unannounced yet. Is that right?
Yeah, I don't know if there'll be another hotfix.
No, I thought
because there isn't anything fundamentally broken like the legendary system was. And then I guess also people were having a problem where every time they went to their camp they crashed, and people that got into power armor and switch servers lost everything. So
everything.
Well, all their power armor stuff.
No.
Yeah, to address the comment you just made, it was from on the Bethesda blog. They did say, we've been reading through your bug reports and feedback following this patch 11, working hard to address a number of issues. First step, we plan to release a hotfix a little later today. This was published this morning, as well as a few additional issues. Next, we're looking to tackle another issue. But then they go on to say, we're actively investigating reports about all the various power armor things. We don't have updates to share just yet. We are actively investigating, and we'll address as many of these bugs as we can in future updates.
Yeah, so there'll be a regular update on Tuesday next week, because they've been pretty consistently doing something every week.
Yeah, or every other, depending. Sometimes it's just maybe a patch, like, because usually if it's going to be patch 11.5, I would think that would be in 2 weeks.
Right, but so the week before last, there was an update, but there wasn't any new content. It was just essentially bug fixes.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, usually every Tuesday there is something. And then every once in a while, hot fixes like today, and usually on Thursdays if something goes wrong with Tuesday's patch.
Yeah. The hot fixes are for fixing big problems that they created in the last update.
Yeah, the one 2 weeks ago, what was that, like 4.6 gig on Xbox, I think?
Yeah.
It was pretty solid, and that's one of the things about those patches. Sometimes when they don't even, when they're smaller patches as far as what they say they're doing, but there's more stuff, sometimes it's content preloads. I don't know if anyone looked into any of the data mine info, but some people have been data mining the new item content, because in the data files, there are things that are flagged as item shop items, upcoming inventory items, and it looks like they had a large number of those get added with the patch a week ago, and we could be looking forward to some Free States gear, various hats and clothing and stuff, Free States.
Ooh, hats.
And one thing, and keep in mind this is just speculation now, but I did see the info and pictures from the files that I shared in groups. They are looking at possibly the personal robots we've been asking for. Camp robots.
Camp robot.
Yeah. The picture showed a Protectron and a Protectron pod for your camp. And, it's possible it's not what it looks like, but it was in the Atom Shop section and marked as a camp item. So who knows? Quest reward or upcoming thing to buy.
Either or, that's great. And I don't care if it won't go off and, follow me. I know they can't really do that in this style of game. But if it can just stay around home and maybe even like be sort of like a turret,
protect and serve,
defend the home, and I don't know, maybe I can tell it to harvest the water purifier for me while I'm gone or something. That'd be great, because the water purifier fills up and it doesn't keep collecting water. It stops until you empty it. You know what I mean? So I'm always, I got to go home and empty the water purifiers,
Yeah, it'd be good to get a handy at home. That's what I really like, even more than the Protectron.
You like that robot more?
Yeah, well, the way they float, and I mean Codsworth. Yeah, I have an affinity for the Mr. Handies.
Yeah, I always, when I had robot followers in Fallout 4, I always gave them the thruster or whatever it's called. They never get, if you give them legs or the robot treads or whatever, it would always get caught up on something, get stuck on something eventually, and you'd always have to wait and path them around and coach them around, and they get stuck, and it was always annoying. So I gave them the little jets, and they'll be perfect. What'd you say, Frater?
I was almost happy when they got stuck. Like, good, stay over there for a minute.
Get away.
Carry my stuff and stay out of the way.
Yeah, I miss my robot buddies and my dog buddies. I can't wait till we get some sort of camp pets or something too.
You can get a topiary cat.
Yeah, I can put some kitties around now. That'd be fun. All right. Any more thoughts or theories on items versus legendaries versus servers? That was one of the big topics I wanted to get into tonight, so I thought that was nice. Thank you, Jerry, for your thoughtful and well said feedback. Let's move into our last feedback for the evening. A gentleman who is with us in the room this evening. Let's say hi to Frater.
Hello all, Frater here to talk about my annoying little twig boy Thorn, my round table character, and his experiences completing 2 of the current round table quests. I did the leader of the pack and find Jangles. And that's all I did this last week because I suck and I didn't get very far. But at least I did those, and I don't deserve any credit because I literally did them by accident. I actually started out in Morgantown looking for power armor, couldn't find any. Decided to go to Aaronholt Farmstead. Is that what it's called? Northwest corner of the map. I think that's what it's called. Anyway, I was up there because there's a little shed up there with some power armor. Nope, not that day. T51 power armor. That's all I wanted that day. Nope. Next thing I know, I'm tangling with some dogs. Mongrels, I guess they're called. And then next thing I know, I'm in this event where I'm hunting wolves. They're attacking me at the same time as these damn dogs. I think there was a total of about 12 of them attacked me all at once. It's pretty funny. One shot with a shotgun. No big deal. Went to the shed. Nope, no power armor. Then I decided, I've started this event. It's easy legendary stuff, so I might as well keep doing it. So I started heading south, getting the rest of these legendary wolves. 2 of them gave me a legendary drop. Oh, both were armor. One was actually a chameleon piece. What was it? Chameleon wood left arm, I think. which is great because my assigned body armor is wood. But it's supposed to be zealots, so keep that a secret. Don't tell anybody. Yeah. So okay. So I'm starting to head south, looking for the next legendary wolf. Sorry. And then I get another thing says, "Ooh, find Mr. Jangles, rescue the missing monkey." So I'm trying to do that, but because I'm a weak little twig boy with strength of 1, these dogs just keep running at me and nipping at me, and every time, I swear it's because I have low strength. They nip at me, and then I stumble, and then I miss my shot. So that took a while. It was a bit annoying. I had to put off doing the Jangles thing because, well, the dogs have a timer and Jangles doesn't. After all, Jangles is inanimate. So what does he need a timer for? Yeah. So anyway, so the first 2 wolves, like I said, gave me legendary drops, but the third one did not. And once I was finished with that, it gave me the next event, which is to find the I don't remember how it worded it, but basically you have to find the alpha wolf, right? I'm thinking, ooh, that's going to be pretty cool. Never actually bothered to do it before. Well, that was another one shot, and I didn't get a legendary drop from that. So that was kind of silly, but I did it because that's what we're supposed to do this week. I participated. Yeah, so anyway, I went back for Jangles. So Mr. Jangles, well, he was hiding at Tyler County Fairgrounds, I think it's called, on the west side of the map, right back in the middle of this wolf event. And yeah, I searched around all over the place. I must have killed at least a dozen scorched altogether, including combat time with these scorched. It actually took me, and I checked it, I recorded it, took me 28 minutes to find this stupid monkey. Jangles was hiding beside an ice machine in one of the little huts, you know, one of those ones with the cash registers. They're probably selling cotton candy and churros and crap like that. Yeah, there's Jangles just hanging out, having a good old time, pigging out on junk food. Meanwhile, I'm looking everywhere for him. His mom's probably worried. I know I was. I was very worried. Anyway, that's all I got done out of the events and quests and such for this week. So I should leave it at that. Thanks for squeezing me in at the last minute, Andrew. Sorry I was late. And thanks everybody for listening. See you in the wasteland.
So these alpha wolves that we're fighting in this event, are they supposed to be any different than the normal wolves? Are they just legendary, or what's supposed to be different about the alpha wolves?
Yeah, they're typically legendary.
This one said legendary, but it didn't have a drop.
It just
did a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I feel like when I did it a couple weeks ago, I had the first one wasn't legendary, the second one was a 1-star legendary.
Sweet. All right, great. Jess, what else do we have on the show notes agenda this evening?
Well, here's something. You were just talking about missing your companions. That could be a good segue into your experience with Fallout 3 this week.
Oh yeah, I went and got a dog meat the other day in Fallout 3. Everybody,
yay! Dog meat's back.
Jess had mentioned the changing the view in third person in all the Fallout games, and I said, "Wow, was that possible in Fallout 3 as well?" She said, "Well, I'm assuming." So I went and checked it out. And I would dog on Fallout 3 all the time. I never liked it much. And I think a large part of it was because of the aspect ratio of the third person view. I just thought it was terrible. Now, evidently what had happened, Jess, is I inadvertently in the middle of battle had zoomed my character out 100% all the way.
Yeah, or maybe you even did it in the vault. I mean, because from what you remember, it was like that the whole time you played.
Yeah, for what I know, but this was a while back now, and
Mhm.
who knows? But who knows when it happened? But now I know how it happened by pressing in the right stick and then zooming in and out. You can change your perspective there. And so I went and did that and zoomed my character in to waist level and up over the shoulder, and it is just really really nice. I really like it a lot, and I've been running around Fallout 3. Not as much as Fallout 76. I'm still playing more Fallout 76, but in the downtimes, like, it was nice when I was updating for like an hour or whatever the other day. I played Fallout 3 for the whole time, and I went and I met your friend. How do you pronounce it? Moira?
Yeah, Moira Brown.
I went and talked to her. Everyone was saying, "Oh, you want to sell stuff? Go talk to Moira." I literally did not do any like character searching and any of that stuff. I just did main quest only. I went and got dog meat. I had to do that, but other than that, I just did basically all main quest stuff, and I didn't do a lot of bartering and a lot of like adventuring and a lot of exploring the NPCs and characters. So I needed to know stuff, and so I was asking people, where do I go? What do I do? And all that. So Jess and Craig and everyone's like, yeah, go find Moira. So I went and found Moira, and I did a bunch of bartering, and I had found that I had a lot of stuff that I had stashed in the my character home there in Megaton,
Mm-hmm.
and I sold a bunch of stuff, and then I got chit chatting with her a little bit, and I think I started off a quest with her, and I'm about to go do that stuff. I don't know what that exactly was yet, but
Pretty
she
fun.
told me to go do something.
So we have Frater on the show tonight. So I think you should ask Frater, Andrew. Ask Frater if he thinks we should do a Fallout 3 roundtable at some point.
Is that something you're interested in, Frater?
Yes. We have to do that eventually.
I think it's necessary now that we know we can. So you should definitely delve in the game, see the highlights, but let's save a serious playthrough for a roundtable sometime.
I was just really, I hated it because of the how zoomed out it was. But now that I know that it was just me being a dummy, I have to let the game out of the doghouse, and I definitely have been enjoying it a lot more than I did the previous time. Now, one thing I do have a complaint about: why did they wait to Fallout 4 to add sprinting? Or am I just not? Is there a sprint in the game that I'm not finding, or can you just only jog?
Yeah, you're jogging.
Yep, if I remember correctly, it's the opposite. There's a button to walk, so you can move slower than you are.
Oh God!
The old Bethesda method.
So, but I found that in New Vegas as well. I could not sprint in New Vegas. It was only light jogging or walking, right?
But over time, your movement speed can increase. I think there are a few ways to do it.
Oh, okay.
Also, you said you got dog meat, yay! But one difference in Fallout 3, he is not essential. I mean, he's essential. We all need him, but
But if you have all the DLCs, you can get him back. Well, you get one of his puppies.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm a reloader. I'm a frequent saver and reloader. That is a very big danger, and for playing Fallout 76, and then going back to an old game I found. I went 20 minutes without saving in Fallout 3.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Fallout 4. When I play, every 2-3 minutes I'm doing a save. I save over things I've already saved, so I'm not taking up a ton of, creating new saves and just ballooning my save space. I'm trying to save over stuff that I've done, other stuff that I've done recently, that I know I won't miss or go back to. But that is a danger. Playing a lot of 76 and going back to an old game, I don't save anymore. Like I spammed that fucking save button all the time in Fallout 4. I got burned too many times and learned my lesson.
What's the quick save key on PC? F5?
I don't remember.
Yeah, people just hitting that over and over again. I mean, it is really different. That's one of the big things with 76, that the difficulty curve changed, and you can't quick save.
So, the difficulty curve. How has that changed for Fallout 76 compared to 4?
Well, I just mean, and something we've touched on before, how this is an online game, so you can't adjust the difficulty. There's no, easy, normal, hard, or various ways of looking at difficulty. So if you can't do something, you can't do something. You don't have your orbital strike, and you can't make it past the, shooting range at Camp McClintock. Well, you're up the creek. And it can actually lock out parts of the main story based on difficulty. Whereas in the regular game, you can quick save to try things again and again if you fail, A, and B, you can lower the difficulty.
I think I heard you mention in the Dames Who Game episode 3 about you were talking about difficulty level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got into it a bit there. We didn't talk about the online as much, but obviously, like you were saying, there's no shame in this or that. Like, people play on different difficulties. It's supposed to be fun, so no big there. But playing an online game like 76, there's only one difficulty level, for the most part. And some people complain 76 is too easy once they get the mutations and a lot of legendaries and all that. Some people will say it's way too hard as they're leveling up, or they're just not, super dexterous. And it's all okay, but that does make an online game different from a regular one, where you can save before you do things in case you mess up, and you can also lower the difficulty.
Yeah, I'm glad you said the shame part. I do feel it, but I never play anything over like medium. If I'm feeling up to a challenge, I bump it up to medium. I'm usually on fairly low levels of difficulty, and if it's up to me. Now we did do like survival mode, legendary, challenges on the podcast before. See who can survive the longest. Those are always fun. We need to do one of those things again.
Yeah, that stuff's super fun. That's the other thing. I mean, you can still have challenges on certain difficulties. People can still be competitive, but that shouldn't be like the only way to be. And dying over and over again. Andrew, you had an experience last week about that too, didn't you?
Jesus Christ. I don't even know what the fuck was happening. I popped in, I saw a legendary sheep squatch, 3-star legendary sheep squatch. I was like, oh hey, awesome. Oh man, he's in a battle. What's he fighting? Oh, there's a scorch beast on the ground. Oh man, they are battling out. This is great. I'm gonna watch this. And then up overhead, another scorch beast circling around, and he starts blasting from us like, oh wow, this is an epic battle. This is really fun. And then all of a sudden, everyone notices me, and I'm like, oh fuck. And so Andrew dies, and then oh no, I'm over encumbered. So crap, it's doing that thing where it won't let you respawn anywhere but the one location that you're at. Now I click respawn, and then the screen flashes instantaneously, half a second, and then comes back to the same map, the same location highlighted. You click it again, and then it said fast travel, and it says you cannot fast travel because you're over encumbered. There are no other locations on the map. I can't fast travel to the vault.
No.
So that did change in the patch 11.
How do you get around that? What did you? I ended up just logging off of the server and logging back on, but I had a really good loot bag that I didn't want to lose. Now every time I picked up that damn loot bag, I would again get killed. And also, I was really trying to dig into and figure out why it wouldn't let me fast travel anywhere or let me respawn, but it was doing like a respawn. Yes, click here, and I would click it, and then it would like fail to load and would immediately load the map again, and then it would say fast travel instead of respawn. So strange. But
so your bag is still going to be just as deadly to go pick up, but
absolutely.
I'm going through the notes here real quick, see if I can find that easy.
Excellent.
And another question: will my orbital strike grenades damage people on my team?
I mean, it'll stagger us. I don't know if it damages us. Does it?
It'll definitely kill me.
I'm sure it'll throw them in the air.
Yeah, actually, it is explosive damage, so it might. That's the problem with non-direct damage. It's like if you shoot things with your explosive shotgun, you can hurt yourself if you're too close,
It's
yeah.
probably more likely to hurt us if you blow up a car or something.
Yeah,
exactly.
definitely. as you're wont to do.
What I was thinking is because I was at we had a Scorch Beast down the other day, and I was like, sweet, I'm going to toss an orbital beacon in there, but there were 3 other people there, and I was like, oh, like I would love to toss the orbital beacon there. It's distracted. I could totally do it, but what would happen to those 3 people? So I didn't do it, but I really want to try it out and see what happens to those people.
When we're on headset, it works better because you can yell fire in the hole. But like the other night when we were just chatting, it can be a little bit harder. But we're used to it. We're careful around you.
I wanted
like the Mad Bomber character this time.
Yeah, this is fun. I want to do it on the Scorch Beast Queen because I've got that the 1-man army thing that has the crippling damage, and someone mentioned the meat. Did we test out the meat anymore? Do we have any more of a conviction of whether
actually
the meat breaks them down?
Fuzzy, because when you Frater and I were together, I wanted to do a special run just to test the meat, because the one time I'd done it after reading it in the ash pile down there, nice big and open, Scorch Beast landed, killed it. It was at about half health, it landed and stayed landed. So I put together, got some rad stags, got some landmines, made explosive bait, and got you 2 together to meet south of the White Springs, by the fissure there, close to the Raider, the little Raider cinema area, and the robot, the Miners Monument. And so we got in, we engaged the Scorch Beast. It was great. With you being in the 30s and Frater being in the 20s, I was a little bit worried, but we did fine. A lot of scorched. But I threw down meat twice, and while the Scorch Beast stayed near, it never landed. So I got worried about halfway through the fight that, okay, well, maybe there's not enough room for it to land this time. So then we backed up further towards the car park. I gave you the whole come here, guys thing, and you followed, which was awesome. And so we got further back. I tossed it again. And while the Scorch Beast still didn't land, he stayed hovered in the air right near us, like within 20 feet of the ground, from about half health down. You guys saw the same thing on your screen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's interesting. So
maybe he really wanted the meat and there wasn't room to land still, but I'm not sure. So now the jury's a little more out than it was.
That was going to be my question. Was there something on the ground preventing him from landing immediately below?
It was pretty tight on the road there. There were some cars. There was the median in the road. But I really thought he would land when we got closer to the parking lot.
Yeah.
So it did seem to work some. It was certainly an easier fight than usual for how far away he flew and came.
Well, at least keeps it in the area.
Mm-hmm.
Before we move too far away from Fallout 3, what are some toss out some things I should just jot down to do real quick? Interesting things off the top of your head, Fallout 3 fans. Frater, if you're such a big Fallout 3 fan, what's a fun thing to do?
In Fallout 3, do the Moyer Brown quest.
Yeah.
That's absolutely one of the best, yeah.
Oh, sweet. So I was just about to start that off anyway. Awesome.
Yeah. Like I said, she's the author of the Wasteland Survival Guide, or future author with your help. You got that. You got so much to see. You've got the Republic of Dave. You've got
oh yeah,
gold in the museum. You've got Big Town and Little Lamplight. Like you get to meet Baby McCready. I mean, so much going on. There are so many references in this game that they follow up on Fallout 4. It's pretty cool.
Petrakova, what's her first name?
S. What is it?
Sierra?
Yeah, Sierra Petrakova. Yep.
So you can go to her Nuka-Cola museum in Fallout 3.
I ran into her into Nuka World and Fallout 4.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
that's the connection.
The end game with the weird.
Yeah, just bring a bunch of quantums with you.
The Walt Disney computer guy. Oh yeah. That is something that Shalene told me on this sort of a side conversation along the way, is like, at Fallout 3, I definitely don't pick up nearly as much stuff, or like it doesn't seem like I don't understand its usefulness yet. Maybe that's more it. Like my repair isn't high enough to actually do anything yet, so I need to bump up my repair, and then I can probably use more of the junk.
Yeah, but it's definitely used differently. It's used in plans and recipes, and then some things, there are special vendors who want things, or special people who are interested in things, like the Quantum for Sierra. Oh, you also get to meet snot-nosed Elder Maxon when he is just a kid, too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Gosh, sorry, that'd be fun just to look up all the Fallout 4 and Fallout 3 tie-in connections and aim for some of those to look that stuff up. That'd be fun.
One of my favorite things in Fallout 3 is the one that you found the other day at Tenpenny Towers.
Oh yeah, I cussed that guy out a little bit, so now I have to go find 100 caps to buy him off before he'll let me in. He was a jerk to me, Freighter.
Well, you didn't blow up Megaton.
You're right. I did not. Should I have? That means that those people are bad.
Oh, they're the worst. I mean, Tenpenny makes the Institute look like neighborhood party. I mean, I don't know, but
Oh goodness, that makes me want to go in and check it out a little bit. Then
the evil path. I mean, you can definitely, because karma plays a factor in Fallout 3. So the evil path is evil, and the good path is gray and sometimes good, and that also affects which companions you can have. There are companions you'll never meet. There's towns like Paradise Falls, which is a raider slaver town. Paradise Falls, you might end up attacking and destroying if you're on the good path, but if you're neutral or evil, you might end up starting to work with them. And I mentioned Chinese assault rifles. You can upgrade the vendor's inventory there by giving them Chinese assault rifles and make them as good as any other vendor in the game for evil characters. There's a lot of little things that you only see after you play for a while.
That's great. Yeah, looking forward to again, it's not going to be like my main game or anything. The 76 will still be my main ride, but I'll be looking forward to diving into Fallout 3 every now and again. That's good stuff. Jess, do we have anything else we need to get into the notes? I do want to do a round of Scream at Your Phone before we sign off for the evening. Was there?
We got that. We got Freighter. One thing from the very first feedback we had tonight, from Eric's feedback, he was talking about warping and after the nuke shine ending up at the Sickle Man. I didn't know if any of you guys had ever looked into Sickle Man lore in West Virginia or not.
No,
yeah, there's a couple of videos on it, but I haven't watched them.
Yeah. So there are videos out there to check. Just the things I was going to mention was there's actually multiple references of the Sickle Man in the game. Everyone knows the porch. Sickle Man was here early on by the vault. But there are a couple other locations where you can see references to Sickle Man with the bird cage, cut off heads. And there's actually a shack in the or a small house in the Savage Divide on the south side where you can actually find what we think is Sickle Man's corpse, where you have a dead body with a bird cage, a couple of skulls, and a sickle in their arms.
my skin's crawling a little bit. That's creepy.
Yeah, Sickle Man. And there was actually a Sickle Man movie, totally separate from the game lore, made in it's a recent movie, but it's about Sickle Man, the legend from the early 1900s in West Virginia. And that's probably where they got the Sickle Man from, was this movie. Because I couldn't find much about actual lore.
Okay.
Sickle Man. Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's cool. I like that. Check that out. All right. Freighter, are you ready?
No.
Everybody out there, get ready to scream at your phones. On this edition of Scream at Your Phone, we have a very special category from Fallout 76. Any new listeners out here at the point of the game where we have a list? I have a list of every thing of a category in Fallout 76. The only thing these people are going to do is list these items for me. We'll take turns going down the row. You say an item, great, you're still in. Move on to the next person until you don't know any, and then you are out. Simple game. It's a name game, list game. Freighter, you are the guest this evening, so we will let you begin. Please, from Fallout 76, Freighter, list for me a chem.
Daddy-O.
Daddy-O is there. Let me see what order we're going in here. So we'll do Freighter, then Jess, then Ray. Jess, name a chem for me, please.
I'll go with Buff Out.
Buff Out is there. Ray.
Stim Pack.
Stim pack is there. Yes, medical items are also counting as chems in this list. I will point that out. Yes, stim pack. So back to you, Freighter.
Radaway.
Radaway, absolutely. Jess.
Psycho.
Psycho is there, absolutely. Ray.
Disease cure.
Disease cure. Yes, over here. And Freighter, back to you.
Did we do? Oh, can we do combos like different types of?
Definitely. I hope.
So buff tats.
Buff tats. Yes, sir. It's there. Jess.
Psycho buff.
Psycho buff is there. Absolutely. Ray.
Antibiotics.
Antibiotics. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Freighter.
Mentats.
Mentats. Yes, sir. It's like you took some Mentats. Way to go, buddy. Jess.
Grape mentats.
Grape Mentats. Absolutely. Buff up that charisma 5 or something. Ray.
Keep the party going. Orange mentats.
Orange Mentats. Let's get all the Mentats together. Yes. Orange Mentats. Back to you, Freighter.
Is there a berry mentats?
I have it here. Yes, there is a berry Mentats.
Nice.
Absolutely. So that's Jess.
I was gonna go with the berry mentats. So this has to be in 76, right? Well, everything we name.
Yes, but a lot of these, I think Jet is not from Fallout 4, but there's lots of stuff in 4 that are in Fallout 76.
Yeah, and Jet was what I was gonna go with. So let's go with Rad X.
Yes, Radex is there. Ray, you're up, sir.
All right, I'm going to go out on a limb on this one. Diluted Radaway.
Yes, it's there. I was hoping that someone would go out there and say that. Radaway, parentheses, diluted. Freighter, to you, sir.
Radex diluted.
Radex diluted is also there. Perfect job, Jess.
Gonna continue the get out of jail free card, and I will go with diluted stim packs.
Stim packs diluted also there. Ray, back to
All
you.
right, well, super stim packs.
Super stim packs are there. You guys are good at this game.
Oh, snap.
Freighter.
Is there a psychotats?
Psychotats are there. Absolutely.
Nice.
Good job. Jess, you're up.
Oh boy. Chems. Daddy-o. We did. Oh. I'm not out yet. Give me a second. Can we go with healing? Can we go with healing salve?
Healing salve. Yes, it's there. Absolutely. Good job. Pull that one out.
Nice.
Ray,
That was my next one.
Sorry.
Always try to have two in your back pocket in case they steal one from you.
Yep. Calmex.
Absolutely, Ray. That's a great one. Good one, Ray. Freighter.
No, that's the one I was going to say, and that's the last one I can think of. I think I'm out.
No more?
Nope.
All right. I don't want to start giving hints yet until everybody is out. And then I'll have you start guessing that way. But all right. So Freighter, bowing out. Jess?
Could we go with Nuka-Cola flavors? Or is that
those are not on this list.
Okay, then I'm going to go with Healing Salve Forest.
Ooh.
Yeah, okay. I think I'm out.
I just have one of the healing salves there.
That's fair.
So you're bowing out too. Ray, do you have any more guesses?
Well, so after we've taken all these fabulous chems and need to cure our addiction, we'll take a Dictol.
You will take a Dictol. Ding a ding a ding. Good job, Ray.
Also take the win.
Yes. Wonderful job. All right. Let's see. What do we have here? The one that gives +2 to all specials.
Oh, Excel.
Excel was not listed. The much like Radaway, but more powerful, given by the free states, I believe.
Oh, the guano, the what's it called? Rad Cure?
Rad Shield.
Rad Shield. Okay.
Also added by Wild Appalachia. There's an insect repellent. If you remember that, you combine all the different.
Oh yeah, from the
insect-
tadpole.
Yep.
That's more like a topical cream. I'm not sure.
Let's see. Med X.
Oh, of course.
One.
AKA morphine.
Morphine. Yeah.
Did anybody say Day Tripper?
I was just about to list that one. Day Tripper's on there. We also have Fury.
Oh, of course. We missed like 4 or 5 of the actual like separate named ones.
And also, I guess I would get this one confused with XL, but what is Overdrive? Forget what that one does.
I know. I think it looks like the injector for Psycho, but
Okay.
I don't know what it does. Don't remember. See, chems are for selling. I mean, I know you're kind of the same, Andrew.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Also, let's see. We missed Blood Pack, and let's see. You got Day Tripper, Blood Pack, and Glowing Blood Pack. You know the 2 variations. And there were 2 that I had question marks by because I'd never seen these, and they were only. I don't know if they were actually found in the game or not. There's 3 of them here. Detoxing Salve, Lunchbox, and Refreshing Beverage. Has anyone seen any of those 3? Those are
Refreshing Beverages from Fallout 4.
Yeah.
Oh yeah? Is there one in 76?
I have not seen one.
Okay, maybe that's why I put a question mark by it.
Yeah, I think we're over 2,000 hours combined. No refreshing beverages yet.
Right on. Well, another successful game of Scream at Your Phone. Congratulations, Ray. Good round.
Thanks so much.
Right on. All right. Any other stuff that anybody would like to get into this evening? Let's look at the schedule, see what we'll get into for next time. Do I have it pulled up anywhere? Let's see. What are we looking at here?
So Motherload.
Motherload. What is Motherload? We got Motherload.
The horn right.
Oh,
down
the
in the basement.
mining stuff.
No.
Does that get us the excavator power armor?
Nope.
No. That's too bad.
That's a couple of weeks away.
Is that on the list though? Okay.
Yep.
There's a power armor chassis in there though.
Yeah.
There is, and you get the chance to get the key card that'll make your break and clear events better when you do those. It's a good quest. You learn a whole lot about the Hornwright and Garahan and such through the next couple quests.
Sweet.
Yeah.
And we'll continue on with personal matters with the Overseer's quest at Morgantown High and Vault-Tec University. And then the events that we'll try to pop this week are Distinguished Guests and Patrol Duty. So that's what we'll look forward
I
to.
don't think I've ever done patrol duty.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. And keep in mind these are all still forest events. We're starting with lower level stuff, so these are really about the same level as the ones that we just did for the past week's roundtable.
Now, is Distinguished Guest the one at the mansion, the robot preparing for the party?
At Bolton Green, yeah.
Yeah, nice. Look, that's
Yeah. So, with Batosai as high a level as she is, I started an additional character to kind of have a little bit of a lower level. But he's a pistol build. He's already up to level 27.
Jesus,
So-
right? You need another hobby, man. Too many characters.
You can level up really, really fast to level 20 character at White Spring
It is pretty remarkable, isn't it?
if you're willing to die a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing is you gotta kill those things to get that XP generally.
Nope.
Low levels, some helps to bring a high level buddy sometimes.
Yeah, no, you don't have to do that, and they changed that now too. That's another one of the things in patch 11. That you don't have to get the last hit in a quest, or rather an event, to get the to get the kill. So, like if you're doing any of the possum badges or anything like that, where you have to kill, certain creatures.
Yeah, you just have to get one shot in on them.
Well, you still have to do a percentage. I haven't figured that out. I really would like to know what that percentage is.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not good enough to do one shot, and do 3 damage on a level 68 ghoul and have it give you credit for it. But if you get a few shots in, or you can do a little bit more damage, then you do get credit for it.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'd like to know what you find out there.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much going to be a data mine question, because that has to be coded in there somewhere. They certainly aren't clear about it. They do mention it in the notes that you do have to get enough XP, to qualify for like the queen. But they just do not give you any indication whatsoever what that threshold is.
They say you have to get a certain amount. Good luck.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Yeah, and with the queen, that's a pretty high number, because I was in a queen fight, and my rifle was only doing 4 or 5 damage per shot, but I was getting a lot of shots in. And then when it would land, I would go after it with a ski sword, and I was doing 10, 12 damage each whack, but I didn't get any credit for the kill on the queen at all. I did get the event, but I didn't get the the queen kill, and no junk off of her. And that was before the patch 11.
Yeah, I've had the same thing.
So it's still unclear exactly how much damage you have to be able to do to be able to qualify.
Huh. I never even considered that. Very nice. I still want to go toss a fucking orbital strike grenade at the Scorch Beast Queen. Everyone, when she lands, everyone's meleeing her down.
Yeah, and turn damage numbers on.
Just pops up like 3,000 in a ring.
I was just looking at the show notes. You actually put King's autobiography in the notes again this week. I think you meant to read those off, maybe.
Yeah, I still haven't actually really introduced the character very much. I haven't developed like a real backstory or anything. I kind of shied away from that for some reason. But really, what it came down to is during my character creation, what I like to do is I like to over accentuate all the features. I don't go for realistic. I go for like, I take the eyebrows and make them huge. I take the jaw, I stretch it out as low as it can go. I take the lips and make them puffy and big. I take the eyeballs and stretch them far apart and make them huge. And when I did all that, I like moved the eyes, made them bigger, moved them apart. I moved the nose up as far as it could go. I moved the mouth down as far as it could go. Took the jaw, made it as wide and low as it could go. The ears were crazy, and I was just like, wait a second, this kind of looks like a bat a little bit in the face, because the nose was super high and set right in between the eyes, really high ears. Yeah, so I don't taking a little inspiration here. I'm gonna make this like sort of like a Scorch Beast spawn of some sort here. So, and then I posted this on Facebook, just this brief little paragraph here. Some say when King was dropped off at the orphan drop box at the responders' fire station as an infant, that she had the wings of a bat, now only hinted at by 2 diagonal scars above her shoulders. It is rumored that she is the spawn of she who shall not be named, the Sierra Bravo Quebec herself. Later in life, King watched in horror as those around her succumbed to the nightmare known as the Scorch Plague. In her plight to discover the cure for the dreaded sickness, she contracted the very virus she was attempting to destroy. But she didn't develop the ultrasite deposits under her skin like everyone else. Her cheekbones rose, her eyes widened, and her nose opened up. Her ears grew strong and pointed, and her voice knew great power, and the lust for flight drives her now. She will bring hellfire from above, and one day they will call her the Scorched King. So I don't know. I just because my character had like a fat face and weird eyes, and my character role was like the explosives and stuff. So I wanted to get the explosive grenade launcher and get a power armor with a jetpack so I could fly around and launch explosive stuff from high above. Does anybody know? I'm not much of a power armor person. When you're flying around in power armor, can you throw grenades while in flight? Can I throw orbital strike beacons while flying around?
Should be able to.
Oh, that'd be fun. Nice. Never really played with that much.
I know you can shoot.
Yeah, definitely. I now that I have a jetpack, I like jumping and vatsing.
Oh wow! I don't know if I would have even tried that vatsing in flight. That's great. Perfect. Yeah. So that is my little character introduction. My character is King, and it's a she. She looks like a bat in the face a little bit. It's really fun.
I thought it was really well written. I'm glad you read it.
Yeah, I liked it too.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, and the character looks fantastic.
Mhm.
It's a weird face. Yeah, I like just making them look as silly as possible. Hey guys, thanks for hopping on the show tonight. Is there anything else you guys wanted to cover before we hop off tonight? All right.
I have one thing actually.
Yeah, Frater, go ahead.
And this is just a question. Maybe I'm crazy and I made this up in my head, but I swear once I found a set of Raider power armor, level 25. Remember where we were the other day with the Scorch Beast Queen? Or the Scorch Beast, I mean, sorry. Where we were trying the... there's a random spawn point near that. And anyway, I found some Raider power armor there once. And I went to get in it. And as soon as I got in it, an audio recording started playing. And it said something to the effect of, "Oh, you're trapped now. The bomb's going to go off in 3, 2, haha, just kidding. You're welcome for your free set of power armor."
Huh.
And everyone else I've said this to says I'm making it up, but I swear it happened. Has nobody else ever seen this?
I can't confirm it.
No, but I was, kind of derping around one time and found a named set of power armor. I didn't get in it because I just don't get in power armor. But it.
What do you mean named?
It didn't say, Raider power armor or power armor frame or anything like that. It actually had a person's name, not a character, not a player's name.
It's a Chuck,
but it was a named set of power armor. So it might be what you saw.
Yeah.
So I didn't get in it, so it didn't talk to me.
It might have been, instead of a regular random power armor spawn, it might have been, at one of the random event locations that are all over. And I haven't encountered that, but I encountered one similar where you find power armor with a holotape nearby and it's mines all around it. And when you go to get in, the mines start blowing up on you, and then you listen to the holotape. And he talks about how he trapped it and left it. So it's actually kind of similar. So I don't know. Maybe it's a random event, but I haven't seen that exact one.
Cool.
Have you Googled it yet?
I haven't found anything about it anywhere.
Yeah, that's crazy. No Reddit mentions or anything. Well,
I'm not even sure what to type in to look it up. Just Raider power armor.
Talking power armor?
What do you say?
Is it? It's like Tony Stark's suit or something. All of a sudden. Right on. Yeah, great. Thanks everyone for hopping on. You can find her on Twitter at Sleep is for Tea. Jess, thanks for hopping on tonight.
Thank you.
Ray can be found at RayLB on Twitter. Ray, always a pleasure, sir.
Indeed.
Frater, you got Twitter?
I do, but I don't remember what it is. I only used it for the Carrie's Fun thing.
Oh, absolutely. I think that's why Jess created hers as well. But she's now posting a lot more on Twitter. It's been nice. Retweeted something the other day. Oh, Jess, we didn't even mention it. This is something you totally need to talk about before we go. How was your HOA visit?
Oh yeah, so I got the Wasteland Estates HOA. Some of you guys might know them. They're a nice organization group. They got a Twitter. They stream and such. They go around doing camp evaluations and trivia and other events. Well, they stopped by my camp Friday night, and I got an evaluation. It was on Ron's camp, my character from the last round table. He had done the Ron in the High Castle build, and I thought if they were going to come by, that would be the one I'd use. Yeah, so it was great. Was on the stream for 20 minutes. They all checked it out. They loved the Ron Weasley thing. Weasley's for the win. So it was really fun.
I overheard them like when they. Are they actually like critiquing or because I remember them saying on the show like, "Oh, does this pass?" And they're asking people, and it's like, "Yes, I think it passes." Like, what inspection are you actually literally trying to pass? Are they making sure that your electric is hooked up right, that there's no cracks in your foundation? Like, what are they actually looking at here?
I mean, all kinds of things. There are some who take it more seriously than others, and as they've been doing this, they've gotten more fun with it. But basically, the idea, Boss Daddy of the HOA and his group, originally on PlayStation and now on Xbox, they go through and they're looking for any violations. And at the end, after they've tallied up the violations and things, that aren't, whether it's floors facing the wrong direction, too much exposed wiring, dangerous overhangs, such like that. They'll tally it up, then they'll ask the chat, do you see any approvals or violations? Have everybody type in an A or a V. And then most people at this point pass, but it's just for fun. But sometimes calling out the violations can be a lot of fun too. That's what they do.
That's great.
A housing party.
Let's create a bunch of a house with just all the worst violations ever. That'd be really fun. All right, so tonight, guys, thanks everyone for hopping onto the show. What we're going to do is we're going to sign off here tonight. I'm going to play the outro music, and then we're going to roll Fallout Terminal Velocity number 25, Freighter's continued adventures down in the bio department of the Institute there. So on that note, I would like to thank everyone for downloading this edition of the Fallout feed, and we will see you in the Wasteland.
Thank you for downloading this episode of the Fallout Feed Roundtable. If you are interested in doing a play-along character with us, the show can be contacted by emailing falloutroundtable@gmail.com. For the roundtable schedule, our Amazon link, and all other show information, please head on over to asapodcasting.com, where you will find the Fallout Feed, a Skyrimatic podcast, our YouTube channel, the Chatterbox, as well as other content. Once again, thank you for downloading, and we'll see you in the Wasteland.
Freighter here. This is the other bioscience terminal. This one is very different than the others. It's mounted on the wall rather than sitting on a desk. Bioscience Terminal 2D, departmental notices. Our special guest has arrived. Now that our guest of honor is here, I want to remind everyone to be polite, accommodating, and welcoming. It's not often we receive visitors from the surface, and this occasion is more special than most. I know that I can count on all of you to extend a hand of friendship and greet our visitor with the utmost hospitality. Let's embrace this exciting event and make the best first impression we possibly can. Director Holdren. Power conservation. When we first implemented the new power efficiency guidelines, I was proud at how well we were able to meet those standards with only a minimal impact on our productivity. It was a daunting challenge, but we rose to meet it. Lately, however, we've been getting lax in our habits. Too often I'm fighting lights and equipment left on when they shouldn't be, and the environmental settings have been changed without my authorization. Let's rededicate ourselves to doing what's right for the needs of the Institute as a whole. After all, this isn't just our home. It's a home for the future generations who will carry on the great work of building a better future. Director Holdren. Since zoology, the next step. I have some exciting news to share with all of you. Father has approved the next phase of my proposed Synth Zoology initiative, and I'm already in the process of setting up a schedule for the initial prototyping phase. As has always been the case, this is a low priority project, but those of you who find yourselves with free time are welcome to contribute. I'll need to make a few preliminary decisions, not the least of which is what kind of creature we'll want to replicate. I don't have to tell you how eager I am to begin, and I can't wait to see what amazing things we can do given our recent advances in synth development. Director Holdren. Soil pH values. Batch ID 228//PHV5.617 mod.acidic. Batch ID 106//PHV6.231 SLT.acidic. Batch ID 334//PHV8114 mod.alkaline. Batch ID 271//PHV7.200 neutral. Batch ID 113//PHV5.263 mod acidic. Batch ID 320//PHV7.513 SLT alkaline. Batch ID 249//PHV5.617 mod acidic. Batch ID 166//PHV6.883 neutral. Batch ID 242//PHV6.093 mod acidic. Batch ID 396//PHV8.748 STR alkaline. View access logs. Access log. Access local login. Carlin I. Category update. Soil pH values. Access local login. Carlin I. Category update. Soil pH values. Access local login. Volkert B. Accessed departmental notices. Access local login. Holdren C. Category update. Department notices. Access local login. Carlin I. Accessed departmental notices. Okay, that appears to be the only two terminals in here, so I'll end this tape now.
to participate in the Fallout Terminal Velocity project, contact Rebecca at falloutterminalvelocity@outlook.com.